year for his senior season and has made an immediate impact to the team, establishing himself as one of the league's top players and leading Marian in both scoring and rebounding this season. He is closing in on 1,000 career collegiate points over his 5 seasons, with the ability to do so here in the next few weeks. Tayshawn's passion, his competitive spirit and enthusiasm is what sets him apart. And earlier this season, he was named to the Bevo Francis Top 100 watch list, recognizing the top small college basketball players in the nation. Tayshawn plans to play professionally next year after concluding his time at MU, and is joined today by his parents, Darnell and Danielle Cherry. Ladies and gentlemen, number 3, Tayshawn Cherry. Our next senior is number 2, Christian Harvey. Harv has made flashy plays for the Knights since he took the court as a redshirt freshman, bringing enthusiasm, competitiveness, and big-time confidence to the court. The kid with the best smile on the team has climbed the career scoring charts this year, entering today ranked 17th all-time in scoring with 1,376 career points, just shy of 12 points per game. Christian is also 6th in history in assists, 25th in blocks, and is Marian's all-time leader in career steals with 194 thefts. After college, Christian plans to seek a professional basketball career, which we wish him well in and all the best. Today, Christian is joined by his mother, Donique Wells Gaskins, stepdad, Kevin Gaskins, his father, Lamont Harvey, and his aunt, Monique Walls. Ladies and gentlemen, number 2, Christian Harvey. Our next senior is number 23, Luke Goldman. Luke has been a consistent contributor to the Knights throughout his 5-year career, bringing a positive attitude and competitive spirit to the team each day. One of the leaders in the program, Luke has balanced a rigorous engineering major and college basketball, scoring 681 career points in his career. Luke ranks 15th all-time at Marian in blocked shots and is currently ranked 11th in rebounding with 638 career boards. We thank Luke for all he has given to the Marian community and wish him luck after graduation, as he has aspirations of starting a career in mechanical engineering. Today, Luke is joined on the court by his parents, Thomas and Jennifer, and his brother, Grant. Ladies and gentlemen, number 23, Luke Goldman. Our next senior is number 25, Hayden Langcable. Hayden is one of the most dedicated and hard-working players in the men's basketball program, displaying top character, attitude, and leadership both and off the court over his 5 years as a Knight. Hayden's success is a direct result of countless hours spent in the gym, as he enters today ranked 23rd all-time in career scoring with 1,266 points. Hayden is ranked 7th all-time in made three-pointers and holds the 5th best three-point field goal percentage in Marian history. After graduation, Hayden plans to return home and begin his career, as we wish you continued success. Today, Hayden is joined by his parents, Lee and Christy Langcable, and his brother, Dylan, and sister, Brooklyn. Ladies and gentlemen, number 25, Hayden Langcable. Our final senior is number 11, Luke Hetty. Luke has been a consistent contributor to the success of the Marian program, providing a team-first approach and a positive attitude in his leadership on the court. A model student-athlete balancing a pre-medical degree and college basketball, Luke has appeared in 93 career games in his 4-year tenure, putting up career-best scoring numbers this season, while also ranking in the top 50 in program history in assists and steals. Thank you, Luke, for all you have given the university, as we wish you luck as you work to obtain a master's in biomedical science from Marian and then go on to medical school. Today, Luke is joined by his parents, Scott and Amy Hetty. Ladies and gentlemen, number 11, Luke Hetty. Fans, let's give one more round of applause for the 2023 Marian men's basketball senior class. Number 3, Tayshawn Cherry. Number 2, Christian Harvey. Number Luke Goldman, Hado Lane Cable, and Luke Hattie.
The minute I stepped foot on campus, I didn't want to leave.
Everyone here is about helping you succeed.
It's hard work, but it's totally worth it.
I have so much support from my advisors.
The nursing program is why I chose Marian.
I'm studying to be a teacher.
I'm a business major.
My professors really challenge me, and I know I'll be ready for my career.
A great education is the best thing you could ever do for yourself.
Marian University, an exceptional education and an unforgettable experience. Apply today for full scholarship consideration at marian.edu.
Is your building haunted or infested with icky snakes? Then tear it down. The Raised Trash Demolition Squad can flatten buildings up to 3 stories tall. Whether it's a commercial or residential structure, the Raised Trash Demo experts will make it go boom. And with their roll-off containers, they'll haul away the mess quicker than you can say, hey, there used to be a building there. Bring your old fire trap to its knees with Raised Trash.
RaisedTrash.com.
Raised Trash.
Still waiting? You could have been seen by an orthopedic specialist at Ortho Indy Urgent Care. Avoid the wait, cost, and drama of the ER. Ortho Indy Urgent Care. Orthopedic care without the drama. Find a location near you.
Meet Kate. She has a lot to juggle. Family, work, it can lead to trying days and tired nights. But we know Kate, and at Indiana Members Credit Union, we know at some point her space at a premium life may change. IMCU is here to help Kate and you find your space. Now, add on or remodel with an introductory rate of 3.9% APR on a home equity line of credit. Today, it's all about Kate. Tomorrow, it's all about you. Because at IMCU, it's you that matters.
Still waiting? You could have been seen by an orthopedic specialist at Ortho Indy Urgent Care. Avoid the wait, cost, and drama of the ER. Ortho Indy Urgent Care. Orthopedic care without the drama. Find a location near you.
Pat Sullivan here for the Michaelis Corporation. They've been in business over 35 years. I'm here with Joe Polizzi to talk emergency services. Now, Joe, when I set my house on fire with a toaster, you were actually in my yard before the firefighters left.
Well, Pat, I remember that call like it was yesterday, and although I was disappointed that it was yours, I was happy that I was going to be able to provide some assistance.
You know, this true story, a firefighter actually told me I needed to call someone for emergency services, kind of obvious, and I told him Michaelis was on the way. He said, great, because they're the real deal. Joe, now what do you do in these situations when you show up?
Well, we try to be a calming influence, and we try to find out what the needs are of the family. Everybody's needs are different. Everybody's desires are different. What we try to do is match what we could provide with what they need and do it very smoothly.
I've lived it. If you find yourself needing emergency restoration service in the wake of a fire, flood, or storm, give the Michaelis Corporation a call anytime, 24/7, 844-FIX-INDY.
We have reached the final day of the small college basketball season. It means it is senior day here at the PE Center. And for Marian, there are potentially 5 players playing for the final time in this building. And that is part of the story. Without a win and some help today, Marian could be playing in the conference tournament and the NAIA regional all on the road. A win today likely puts away any talk, though, about not making the NAIA tournament for the first time in 6 years. Marian hosts Taylor on Senior Day. We thank you for joining us on the ISC Sports Network. Alongside Jim Leisure, my name is Greg Rakestraw. And Jim, I know it's your first chance to see the Knights on the season, but of course the joy of watching this Marian program, so many of these young men have had outstanding high school careers and have backed it up with outstanding careers at the NAIA level here in Indianapolis.
Well, certainly if you look at the roster, you recognize a lot of names if you're familiar with Indiana high school basketball. You know, you talk, Greg, about being Senior Day, always emotional, many different emotions. I mean, there's sadness, we're going to go out with a win, with a bang. So we'll see how the team comes out. Hopefully they'll be, basically treat it like it's a regular game. Look, it's just a basketball game. Let all that emotional stuff drop off the wayside, but we'll see.
3 of these seniors are fifth-year seniors in the program. Both Hayden Langcable as well as Luke Goman both have played all 5 years because of COVID. Christian Harvey is in his 5th year in the program. The program's all-time leader in steals, and he's now in the top 20 in terms of career points scored. He has 1 more year of eligibility because of the COVID-free pass. However, 5 years in college, he's ready to move on. He's going to try to play professionally in the G League or overseas. This is his last game here. Tayshawn Cherry, transfer from Arizona State and Grand Canyon University. And the other name, as you see Tayshawn there, is Luke Hetty. Of course, the son of the head coach in Scott Hetty. Luke, because of his medical school track that he is likely on, is electing to not come back and play what would be a 5th year here for Scott Hetty. Again, there's seeding potentially on the line for Marian. Taylor knows that they are in the conference tournament. They know they're on the road, and they frankly know that starting on Wednesday, they have to win 3 consecutive games to keep their season going.
Well, and they would love nothing more than to just basically be that disruptive force if they can be. They're certainly not playing out the string here. Like you said, they have something to look forward to. But, hey, if they could get in Marian's way and just force them to work a little harder, they'd be happy to do it.
And while Taylor is kind of in that 6, 7, 8 range as far as the seeding is concerned, they have a player who you don't go very far into the league without discussing him as one of the best players in the league. It is Jason Hubbard, their 6'7" senior. You'll see him wearing number 0. He is number 1 in the history of Taylor University in points scored. He is 5 away from 2,400 as a Taylor Trojan. We'll take this quick timeout. When we come back, starting lineups and opening tip-off of the regular season finale as you're watching Crossroads League Basketball here on the ISC Sports Network.
This is the Pepsi for America's best barbecue. Worthy of 100-mile detours and 1,000 likes. Looks good. This is the Pepsi for mopping, dipping, and dousing. Whatever you're craving, this is the Pepsi for you. This is the Pepsi for serious fans and serious eats. This is the Pepsi for Sundays at the ballpark and days off at your favorite pizza joint. Right, Aaron?
Best slice in New York.
Whatever you're craving, this is the Pepsi for you.
Pat Sullivan here for the Michaelis Corporation. They've been in business for 35-plus years. I'm here with the owner, Richard Michaelis. Hey, Richard, what's the key to the growth over the last 35 years?
Pat, I believe being a family-owned local business that is involved in the community has a lot to do with it.
All right, so you have a lot of services. Tell us about some of those services.
We're really, really strong in the emergency services, smoke, fire damage restoration, storm and water damage restoration, all while working with your insurance company. We also do mold remediation, basement and crawl space waterproofing, foundation repair, and roof repair. We are a full-service company.
All right, as to the owner, we know you wear a lot of hats. What do you do day to day?
I really love being out in the field working with our clients. It gives me a great opportunity to understand their needs so we can take care of them.
Your hands-on approach, I think, is a lot to do with the success of Michaelis. If you find yourself needing their services, give them a call anytime, 24/7 at 844-FIX-INDY. The Michaelis Corporation. Construct, renovate, restore.
Time to show you the starting lineups. Again, we showed them on camera as we went to break, but there is Jason Hubbard. Again, he has also used the COVID-free pass. He has played 5 full seasons, but seriously, when you have gotten to 2,400 career points, that is quite the accomplishment. He is flanked by Gavin Yoon of Lawrenceburg, Grant Niehaus of Washington. We'll see time in today's game as well. Other starters for this group, Jackson Lewis, a sophomore. That is Anton Webb. He is a 6'8" junior that transferred in from Ashland University. That will be in the starting lineup today for the Taylor Trojans. Lights go down for the Marian University Knights. We'll get you their starting five in a matter of moments. Now, of note, they are starting most of their seniors, not all of their seniors. Luke Eddy is electing to come off the bench as he normally would. The other four seniors that are being recognized will be in the starting lineup for today. Josh Bryan will join them as the fifth starter for the Knights, but to make the official introductions, we'll turn it over to the public address voice of the Marian University Knights, as momentarily Mark Erdosi will have the call of our five-man starting lineup for Scott Heddy's Knights.
And now the starting lineup for your Marian University Knights. At forward, a 6'8" senior from El Cajon, California, number 3, Tayshawn Cherry. At forward, a 6'6" senior from Floyd's Knobs, Indiana, number 23, Luke Goldman. At guard, a 6'5" junior from Muncie, Indiana, number 5, Josh Bryan. At guard, a 6'1" senior from Morristown, Indiana, number 25, Hayden Langkibble. Rounding out the Knights starting lineup is a 6'1" senior guard out of Richmond, Indiana, wearing number 2, Christian Harvey. The Knights head coach in his 6th season is Scott Heddy. Ladies and gentlemen, starting lineups for your Marian University Knights.
Thank you, Mark. Our three-man officiating crew for tonight's game: Darren Munn, Jordan Beam, and Luther Palmer. Jim, your final thoughts before this one goes live?
I am really excited to see this basketball game. Should be very competitive. We'll see what happens.
Marian has won 8 consecutive games against their rivals from Upland. Last year, this Taylor team went 9-21. This year, they are 13-14. They are 7-10 again. They know they're in the conference tournament. They know they're on the road. They are playing for anywhere between the 6 and 8 seed. Marian is locked into the 4-5 game. They have to win, and Bethel has to lose against St. Francis for the Knights to be at home. And thank you for joining us. This regular season finale on the ISC Sports Network. Ball in the hands of Jeff Clayton. Clayton, the other senior in the Taylor lineup, along with Hubbard. Jeff is from nearby Ben Davis High School. Hubbard over Bryan, misses the first one. And frankly, he needs to get a touch. Hubbard every time down the floor for Taylor. He is that good of a player.
And I'm sure that's part of their offensive game plan, to run it through him.
And while Cherry can be that guy for Marian, gets the senior day bounce. The former Division I player at both Arizona State and Grand Canyon draws a quick foul from Hubbard and gets the and one.
Well, they obviously isolate him down on the block. They get the basketball to him, does a nice job. Nice little fadeaway turnaround jumper, gets fouled a little bit, goes to the floor, and like you said, gets the home roll.
Tayshawn, an 84% free throw shooter, as evidenced by that. Marian under Scott Heddy, and frankly, you see this with all the great teams from the D2 level on down. Phenomenal from the line, 77%. Here's Jackson Lewis, sophomore point guard, 3.5 assists a game. Clayton, not a player that normally looks for his offense. He's more of a role player. That was this case in high school as well, part of a state championship team at Ben Davis in his high school days. Nice up and under by Webb. Again, Webb played at the Division II level and a high level at that, Ashland University in the Great Midwest Athletic Conference. He averages 9 points and 8 rebounds a game, does Webb. Throw it up top for Cherry. Cherry, late call, but the right call. He was fouled. Webb got him on the arm, and Tayshawn Cherry will shoot 2.
Yeah, speaking of Webb's shot, very difficult there. He was actually just slightly behind the backboard, was able to kind of body control his way out of there and even use the glass.
We will drop things like small college, but when you look on the floor, there's not much small about it. Cherry is 6'8". The front line for Taylor goes 6'7", 6'7", and 6'8". And this has been the case now for many years in this specific league. You are basically recruiting against Division I institutions if you want to win in the Crossroads League. Cherry makes them both. Cherry, one of 3 Division I transfers at some point in their career to play here at Marian.
Cherry averages about 18.5, and you know, if you get to the line and hit him like he seems to be able to do, you could pick up 6 or 8 a night just doing that.
Taylor, a team that has struggled to shoot it from deep throughout the course of this year. Hubbard can do that too. Ryan picks him up on the switch. Creates a little space for the step back. That's a tough shot. Webb, great hustle to keep the possession alive. Now Webb will fire the wing three. That does not go. And I think that was touched last by Marian. It was. Marian, a team that is out rebounding their opponents by 8 boards a game, but Taylor's got the advantage on the glass so far.
Regardless of how you do it, very important to extend possessions if you can, and Taylor's been able to do that with this particular set.
And Taylor does have a height advantage in today's game. Marian will bring some size off the bench. They start smaller. Lewis fires a three. That does not go. And again, late whistle, but the proper one, as Brian had sufficiently blocked out Webb, and that foul on Webb is his second, less than 2 minutes in.
We'll see what Coach Andrews decides to do with him. I don't see anybody getting up yet. You know, it's one of those conundrums, Greg, where if you take him off the floor, he can't play. And if he gets in too many foul troubles, he fouls out and he can't play. So what do you do?
Caden Furman going to check in, and you would assume it's for Webb at the next dead ball. Here's Christian Harvey, the young man from Richmond High School. He'll pull from 17. That does not go. Webb, the uncontested rebound. Harvey second on the team in points at 12 for Marian. On the drive, it's Webb laying up and in. Anton Webb has both buckets so far for Taylor. Harvey thought about the step back. Lang Cable amongst Marian's best three-point shooters, has the mismatch in Hubbard guarding him. Cherry will shoot over Hubbard, and he knew that was good as soon as it left his hand because he was heading towards the other end. But Cherry with all 8 for Marian.
Taking full advantage of his senior day honors and festivities.
I think those are days that ends in Y for that shot for Tayshaun, but your point is well made. There's Clayton, who will lay it up and in. And Scott Heddy not happy what he sees from his team defensively, which is the reason why he will take the timeout here. It is a 30-second timeout, so we will keep it right here. Tonight's game on the ISC Sports Network, presented by AAA Roofing. When it rains, it pours, so trust the pros at AAA Roofing. AAA Roofing, that's who we call. That bucket by Clayton for Taylor. Referenced Jeff earlier being a local product from Ben Davis. He is also a film and television production major at Taylor University. And Jeff might be hanging out with the ISC Sports Network crew a little bit during the month of March. Doing a little job shadowing. I said, you know, I think I'm going to see your alma mater in Ben Davis in the regional round of the tournament. Why don't you come hang at Southport Fieldhouse with us?
That would be an excellent opportunity, excellent experience for him.
So our average height of our crew is going to go up by a few inches.
Well, and he's a good-looking kid, so I'm thinking he's more TV than radio.
Not all of us have the face made for radio, Jim.
I certainly do.
So 8-6, Marian in front. Sherry's already made one step through, and oh my goodness, I think it was half down and popped out. Sherry late getting down the floor, hustling back into play now. So here's Furman, second leading scorer for Taylor at 10 points a game, that checked in to replace Webb. Brian, I think, touched that last. Official thinks so too. And Brian, a young man that began his career at UIndy and then went to Ball State. He is from Delta. Now has made his way back to the small college ranks, and I think he has found the proper fit here playing for Scott Heddy.
You know, I like what the official did there. He took a little bit, a couple extra seconds to just process what he saw, make sure I get it right. You don't have to be in a big hurry to get the call.
Yoon had to put this up because the shot clock was at 4. Yoon, the former Lawrenceburg Tiger, didn't get that to go. Harvey changed his mind in mid-pass and thankfully found a teammate to avoid a traveling violation. And you see Gavin, his younger brother, is a football player at another Crossroads League institution at the University of St. Francis, his quarterback, in fact. That'll be a hand check foul against Furman. That's the 4th foul whistle so far against Taylor. And that also brings us to the media timeout. So let's step aside. 4 minutes in. Marian enjoying a 2-point lead, looking for their 20th win of the season on Senior Day. Senior Tayshaun Cherry's got all 8 points so far. Knights lead by 2.
I've always liked Indianapolis. I've been interested in the bigger city life the community and everything fell into place.
With my degree, I plan on becoming a pediatric nurse. Indianapolis has several hospitals and different options to choose from as to where I should go.
I chose Indianapolis because I love the Pacers, I love the Colts, and this is a basketball city. Just wanted to stay in the city, play in front of my friends and family, and try to give Marian my best.
Who's got time for hot dogs and disco music? Your mind's cluttered with thoughts of commercial waste removal. So thank the good Lord above for Ray's Trash. Ray's will collect the intolerable rubbish at all your company's locations up to 6 times a week. That's 42 times in dog weeks. They shred documents and recycle too. And Ray's has roll-off containers for big loads, like construction waste or when your giant dies. Got a business? Get yourself to raystrash.com.
raystrash.com.
Ray's Trash.
Throughout the course of this game, we will keep you updated on the Bethel-St. Francis game because, again, if Bethel wins that game, then regardless what happens here, Marian will play at Bethel up in Mishawaka on Wednesday night. And right now, Bethel has jumped out to an early 17-7 lead on St. Francis. Two teams are both 9 and 8 in conference play. Lane Cable looking to get downhill. Shot clock at 8. Goman lets Clayton fly by and lays it up and in. So Goman, the former Floyd Central Highlander, played for Todd Sturgeon in his days at FC. His parents and brother Grant, who plays at DePaul, joined him on the floor for senior day this afternoon. Ball tipped. Bryan knocks it away. Cherry takes it away. Goman turns down the 3. Harvey to the rack and scores. Christian Harvey gets the bucket. Again, after Cherry, it is a very balanced group for Marian. These two teams played back in mid-November, and a foul going to be called either on Harvey or Cherry. It'll be on Christian Harvey, his first, and that's the team's first foul as well. Marian won this game by 20 when they got together back on November the 19th. Here's Brody Whitaker. Whitaker, the all-time leading scorer at Greencastle High School. Sophomore averaging 10 points a game and is a north of 40% three-point shooter. Furman over Whitaker, misses. Cherry had the block out, just didn't go get the loose ball. Clayton on the slip, and he'll score it. Jeff Clayton already at his average in terms of points. He's got 4.
Good use of the left hand there, just shields the basketball with the right hand and the body. Both these teams primarily man-to-man defense. You're seeing a lot of cutting, a lot of screening.
The basket cut by Lang, Cable score it. Hayden's in the top 25 of all-time scoring here at Marian University. I think he holds a similar place in the history of the IHSAA as well. Helped lead Morristown to the 1A championship some 5 years ago, playing for Scott McClellan, who these days is the head coach at Noblesville. Hubbard will take the spot up 3. That does not go. Only Cherry has made a 3-pointer in today's contest. Lane Cable thought about the pass, then misses the 3, but there's Whitaker and got the friendly roll. Brody Whitaker. And a timeout going to be taken by Coach Andrews and Taylor, a 30-second timeout. We'll take it right here, but first 8 points belong to Tayshawn Cherry. The last 8 points scored by 4 different Marian players.
Well, that's a good job of getting everybody involved, and again, good movement, good screening, good cutting.
So both teams now have used a 30-second timeout. This 30-second timeout, a service of our friends at Pepsi. Grab a Pepsi and some friends and get in the game. Pepsi, a proud partner of the Marian University Knights. Let's thank our ISC Sports Network crew. Thank you to Kevin Ratterman, Eric Canet, the returning Eldon Wheeler, Rob Lynch, Dennis Glover. Thank you so much to Jordan Shue. And our Camels will be back here on Tuesday night when the Marian women play host to Mount Vernon Nazarene in the opening round of the Crossroads League tournament. We certainly expect to see regional games here for the women as well. For the Marian men, the hope is they are national tournament bound, but again, they also know that that path as well is likely going to be away from the PE Center this year. Take a look at the update on the Bethel-St. Francis game. 10-point lead for the Pilots. Webb back in with 2 fouls. Left hand, left short. Put back opportunity also does not go. Good job by Goman to hold his ground. Jackson Ullum is in there, freshman from Monroe Central. And Harvey goes right at him. Webb, though, behind him, knocks it away. And then Cherry will be called for the reach-in foul. And both coaches are equally upset about calls or no calls. So Cherry picks up the foul, his first. I don't think that Scott Eddy is arguing that play. Josh Andrews thought that should have been called 3 or 4 seconds earlier. What Scott Eddy is asking for is, hey, there was a lot of ball but a lot of body on that blocked shot. Shouldn't that have been a foul? Hubbard, contested shot, and Goman got him on the arm, and Hubbard got it to go as well. So it is a rarity that it takes 7 minutes for Hubbard to get his first bucket of the game, but he'll get to look at the and one after the foul on Luke Goman.
Well, credit the Knight defense. They're doing a nice job of just really keeping him away from the basketball. When he does have it, getting right up in his grill, and that time just a little too close.
Hubbard connects from the free throw line. There is any doubt about his athleticism. Again, you see him on the court. We told you the points. Young man was the state high jump champion in high school in the state of Ohio. He will play at some level after this year if he chooses to professionally. Harvey steps into a 3, missed that one. Hubbard gets the rebound, and now it's a 3-on-2 for Taylor. That pass, that's actually off the leg of Hubbard, no kick. It's also referenced the fact that Luke Ketty is now in there for Marian. And he too was a part of the senior day festivities before the game. Harvey couldn't get there. Hubbard off the glass scores it, and it's down to a 3-point lead for the Knights.
It looks as if Jason Hubbard has found his stroke a little bit, found what he needs to do to get open against this man-to-man defense.
And Hubbard has a lot of old school to his game. Really good mid-range player. Here's Grant Niehaus checking in. Playing for Gene Miller out of Washington High School. 6 points and 3.5 rebounds a game. Gavin Foe will check in. He's a 6'3" redshirt freshman for the Knights from the state of Ohio. 4 points and 3 rebounds a game. Cherry, the step back 3, tried to draw contact, didn't get it. And now a technical foul has been given to Tayshaun Cherry, which will count as a personal on him as well.
Yeah, you know, in his frustration, he slapped the floor, and you see it right there. And
that is referred to in legalese as a demonstrative action. And that is, you know, we normally talk about point of emphasis in November and February, but if you kind of do that, that will be what draws the whistle from the official. So Cherry picks up his second. Hubbard gets 2 technical free throw. That one's good. Or just the one, excuse me. And now it will be Taylor Ball to bring it to the length of the floor. So Cherry and Harvey will have a seat. Jackson Ames will check in for Marian. 6'11" sophomore, transfer from Miami of Ohio. Averaging 5 points and 5 boards a game. No Nolan Foster today for Marian, the 6'10" senior. Transfer from Ohio University, out due to illness today. Webb on the drive and throws it down. And now it is 8 consecutive points by Taylor, and they've tied it at 16. Max Gizzy in there for the first time for the Knights. Junior from New Pal, the backup point guard. Whitaker will fire from 15 and strip it. Brody Whitaker off the bench with 4.
Nicely done. Just got a little separation there and did a little spin move and hit that little 8-foot jumper.
Furman on the drive. Ullum in the lane. Able to clear it in time. Webb a step back 3, and that will go all the way to the bench. Whitaker says, no, I'll pad my rebound stats, thank you.
That's exactly where I was
and
going.
I'll track it down.
Yep.
Hetty thought about the three. Ames going to work. Stepped through and got fouled.
And that'll be his third if that's on Webb.
That is correct.
Smart basketball there. Get the ball inside, force Webb to do something. Hey, you're going to foul him? Foul him. If you're going to otherwise lay off of him, let him score. You see it on the replay, and you saw the slap on the arm.
So Webb likely done for the half with 10.5 minutes left to play in the half. Ames not a great free throw shooter at 50%. And now Webb is done for the next 10 minutes as Jeff Clayton returns. Goman will check in for Ames if he makes the second free throw. Actually, they are going to pull that sub back. I know Goman's dealing with a little bit of a sore back, so they're trying to manage his minutes a little bit as Ames hits the free throw. Ames sagging off of Clayton. Hubbard, when he felt that, again, count the basket. And Hubbard, as soon as he recognized he had 6'3" guard, like, this is going up as soon as I touch it.
Absolutely. You know, he knows he's got the mismatch. Not a lot you could do with it. Just catch it, turn, release. Enough of contact to warrant the foul there.
So let's recognize the fact that already in this game, Hubbard has gone over 2,400 points for his career. Leading scorer in the history of Taylor University basketball. And that statement, given the history of Coach Patterson's program for so many years, that is a mouthful when you say you're the all-time leading scorer at Taylor University.
We'll see how Taylor responds offensively. They were starting to get a little bit of offensive momentum, tied the ball game when Webb was kind of getting untracked.
Hetty for three. Luke Hetty. Hetty becomes the 7th different night to have scored in this game. Already 10 have seen the floor. Back to Hubbard again. They like the matchup on Foe. And Foe again hit him on the way up. Second time that Foe has been dinged for a foul in guarding Hubbard. And Hubbard about to shoot his 4th and 5th free throws of the last, say, 4 minutes of this game.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Like you said, they like the matchup. They get the matchup because when he gave it up, he got it right back. Like, you know what? Just reset it, try it again.
Hubbard 80% from the line. The good scorers do not let opportunities go by at the free throw line.
Oh, nice shot, too. Good rotation, backspin. A little flatter than some, but very effective, obviously, because, again, when it's nice and soft like that, even if it hits the front of the rim, a lot of times it'll bounce straight back into the box and right back down through the middle.
All up will check back out as Lewis returns. Hubbard didn't score any of the first 8 points for Taylor. He scored 11 of the last 13. Hetty has already made 1. Now he's made 2. Hetty already above his points per game average at 4.5 a game. And his contribution usually isn't measured in points, but on senior day, he'll let it fly a little more frequently.
He certainly felt that. When you could see the second he got it, he just set his feet, squared his shoulders, and let it fly. Defender close enough that he had to fade a little bit, but he felt it.
Of course, played for his dad in high school. Then, Dad took the job here at Marian while Luke was still playing. And again, Gizzy was too close in the closeout. So Gizzy whistled for the foul, and free throws coming up here for Taylor. And now Luke has played the last 4 seasons for Scott at Marian, and they have all entered the NAIA national tournament during that time.
Yeah, Taylor shoots as a team about 65% from the line, but they're much better than that right now.
Well, that's because their best player has been the one going to the free throw line so far.
But it's certainly helping keeping them in this basketball game, and I'm sure that Coach Andrews will be more than happy to take it.
Bit of a roll of the dice here for Marian. They're going to have Cherry come back in with 2 fouls with 9:06 left to go. Lewis makes them both, a 6-foot sophomore.
And that's an example of that soft touch again. Hit the front of the rim, hit the glass, come back in.
Cherry isolated on Hubbard, shoots right over him, missed it. A chance to tie or take the lead this time down for Taylor.
Well, and that was an example there. If he does not want to get a third foul, so he's going to shoot fadeaways and straight-up jumpers. He could have driven to the rim, but you risk getting called for an offensive foul.
And if I'm Hubbard, I'm doing exactly that. They're going to say he stepped on the baseline. That, frankly, bailed out Cherry. That could have easily been a third foul. And if you're Cherry, as he took a pretty good shot that time inadvertently from Hubbard. But if you're Cherry, also going to realize, I can't be guarding their best player.
No,
I've got 2 fouls.
And he's going to go to the rim on you every single time.
Yep.
But, that's part of playing smart, learning how to play with fouls. And you may have to do it at some point. That's why I was talking about
tough shot by Whitaker.
The dilemma for a coach. On one hand, you take him out of the game, he can't play.
Timeout going to be taken by Scott Henning and Marian. Full timeout. Let's step aside. What was an 8-point lead is now 2 for the Knights at 25-23. Father and son celebrating this senior day so far as you're watching Marian basketball on the ISC Sports Network.
Marian University is like a home to me.
Campus is where I made friends that I know will last a lifetime.
Academics, sports, or arts, Marian's got something for you.
Plus, downtown Indy is just 10 minutes away from campus.
I'm a huge sports fan. Living in Indy, I've got the Knights, the Colts, and the Pacers.
Applying was so fast and easy.
I went to Marian for the education, but what I took away was the experience.
Marian University offers an exceptional education and an unforgettable experience. Apply today for full scholarship consideration at marian.edu.
Pepsi's always had great taste. Today, try great taste with zero sugar. This is the Pepsi with zero compromises. This is Pepsi Zero Sugar.
It is not only senior day for the men's basketball players, but for the cheerleaders as well. Hannah will be recognized at halftime with her senior teammates. Alongside Jim Leisure, Greg Rakestraw with you here on the ISC Sports Network. Marian jumped out to an early lead, as many as 8. Since that time, Taylor has kept pace. Again, a chance to tie or take the lead this time down. Furman for a 3, left it short. Goman the rebound. Taylor has yet to make a three-pointer today. Again, they're not a great three-point shooting team. Gizzy, Cherry, waited for Hubbard to kind of move around and just never got the bucket to go. That's the second kind of close-range look that Cherry has missed. Harvey back in as Max Gizzy will have a seat.
I think Tayshaun was just expecting some contact there, didn't get it. And when he didn't get the contact, he ended up overshooting the basketball.
So he gave himself some contact, hit himself in the head.
Yeah, well, there you go. That's one way to, self-correct, right?
Don't want to do that too hard. Marian's kind of got a little stagnant offensively the last few times down the floor. Hubbard on the attack. Goman drawing the defensive assignment, and Hubbard dials it up. He's got 13, and we're tied at 25.
Just a really pretty shot. Drive the baseline, plant the foot, spin, and go straight up. Tough to defend.
And he's already made a couple of threes. Back cut by Langcable. Cherry, the runner. Tough shot. For contact, didn't get it. Hubbard looking to go to work. Good job to hold his ground by Langcable, but he left just enough room underneath, and Hubbard's got 15. Again, he has got 15 of the last 17 for Taylor.
Well, again, taking advantage of that 6-inch advantage that he's got. He's 6'7". Langcable is 6'1", and he's like, look, I'm going to go to the rim on this kid. There ain't nothing he can do about it except foul me.
So Taylor in front. Shot clock at 9. Harvey. Cherry over Hubbard. Got that. It's a go figure. He's missed 3 shots in the lane. Hits the three with 6-7, closing him out.
Just keep shooting them up there. When you're a shooter, you know you're going to go through spells both ways.
I don't think that's a problem for Tayshaun. No. Yoon a three. That does not go. But there's Hubbard. Hubbard with 17. Second dunk for Taylor. Timeout given to Taylor. Again, a full timeout, so let's step aside. 5:50 left to play first half. Trojans with a 1-point lead here at Marian on the ISC Sports Network.
Own a home? Here's a tip. Don't dump your garbage in the street. Neighbors get fussy about that sort of thing. Instead, count on Ray's Trash to haul it away. Ray's can supply 96-gallon waste and recycling bins that'll make you the envy of the cul-de-sac. And when you need a roll-off container for that big job, guess who's going to be there for you? That's right, Ray's. Your filth needs a place of its own. Ray's Trash will move it there. You know where to go.
Ray'sTrash.com.
Ray's Trash.
I want to thank our ISC Sports Network crews putting in work at 3 different locations today. We're also producing the semi-state games for the IHSAA Champions Network. 8 semi-state finals across the state tonight. The one closest here will be at Southport. Bedford North Lawrence and Lawrence North will meet for a chance to go to the 4A state championship game. 29-28, Taylor leading Marian. Marian's last bucket, a Tayshaun Cherry 3. His second made 3. He leads the Marian efforts with 11. Right now it is Hubbard who is living up to his advanced billing. Again, he didn't score the first 8 points, the first 7 minutes for Taylor. Well, in the last 7 minutes, he has scored 17 for the visitors from Upland.
Making up for lost time.
He will get a brief breather on the bench. I would imagine this is a minute or 2 at most.
I would agree with Anton Webb sitting down with some fouls. I mean, you got to get some type of offensive production out there.
Nate Patberg in there for Taylor, first time today. Hetty threw that ball to a spot thinking Cherry would win the foot race to get there. He didn't, but it ends up being kicked off of a Taylor player. Brian will come back in to replace Hetty. And the shot clock is at 14 for Marian. Harvey gets downhill, hangs in midair and scores. So Harvey puts Marian back in front.
Hangs is the right word. It goes to the top of his vertical leap and just waits for the defender to pass and still has enough time to flip it up off the glass. Harvey in the top 20 in the history of Marian basketball in terms of scoring. Furman, 3 in the corner. Not that time. And Furman, one of their best three-point shooters, but that's been a bugaboo for Taylor all year. That'll be a trip. 16 foul against Taylor, so if it's not on the shot, it's on the floor. That'll be the case as Lewis whistled for the foul. I had it on the floor. As you look at the replay there, I can't imagine they would interpret that to be a shot attempt. They do not.
Goman, pass read by Lewis, and Harvey just couldn't get there in time. Lewis gets his first field goal. A largely turnover-free game, but a crucial one there by Marian. Cherry low block. And again, late whistle, and it wasn't Clayton, it was the other player that came in and got him on the elbow. So Clayton kind of gave the look of, what did I do? Jeff, you're right, you didn't touch him. It was the guard that helped that touched him, and Cherry will shoot 2. Cherry 3 of 3 from the line earlier in the first half. Pretty stroke for the 6'8 senior from El Cajon, California. And as expected, Hubbard's brief was short-lived. Sat for a minute 12 of game time. Cherry with 13. Hubbard will take the 3. Not that time. Taylor still 0 for the night in terms of three-point shooting. Lane Cable for three. Not that time. Lane Cable 36% from three-point range in the season. Whitaker will check in next dead ball for the Knights. And Hubbard will go to work on Cherry. The spin unkind for the Ohio native. Just isolate for Harvey, let him go to work. Doesn't get the shot, but draws the foul and gets the bucket. Harvey with 6 and a chance to make it 7.
Well, I had for 4 rebounds there, and of course the big offensive rebound's the important one. And I'll tell you, Marian averages about 11 or 12 offensive boards a game. You're going to see him here go to the rim and just lucky enough to be in the right spot at the right time, and clearly the foul.
Gavin Yoon whistled for the foul. Harvey on the season, a 78% free throw shooter. His first trip to the line. Connects. Just 1 missed free throw so far between these two teams. Again, given their pedigree, not surprising. Quick score update on your screen. St. Francis has reeled Bethel back in. 3-point game. Lewis 3, that does not go. And Whitaker the rebound for Marian. Let's see if the Knights can keep some momentum going here. Harvey around Lewis, lets him fly by, scores it. Christian Harvey is at his best when he gets downhill. Taylor will take their 3rd time out of the first half. At this level, you get 6. It turns into a full timeout, so let's step aside. Knights have pushed that lead back to 6. We're back after this on the ISC Sports Network.
Meet Zach. Day and night, rain or shine, even just out for a spin, Zach gets around. But we know Zach, and at Indiana Members Credit Union, we know he's been saving up to trade up. IMCU is here to help Zach and you drive your dream. Now get financing as low as 4.99% APR on a new or used vehicle. Today, it's all about Zach. Tomorrow, it's all about you. Because at IMCU, it's you that matters.
And we are back for Marian women's basketball. We know as long as they keep winning, we'll see them Tuesday and Friday next week. Right now, they are the number 2 seed. Indiana Wesleyan is the 1, so if form holds, that championship game will be in Marian and not at Marian, if that makes sense.
It does.
Okay. And then the NAIA Women's Regional would be March 7th and 8th. As of now, that is the basketball we are in line to televise the rest of the way for Marian on the ISC Sports Network. After that, our next Marian broadcast, lacrosse on April the 1st. How lacrosse knowledgeable are you, Jim?
I don't know much about it. I've been to a couple of games. My nephew played in high school and college. It looks like just kind of hockey on grass, and they beat each other with the sticks, and that's about all the more I can tell you.
People ask me, what are the sports, because I do a variety of sports, what are the sports you don't do? Lacrosse is on that short list. Joey Lindstrom will be here to call that on Saturday, April the 1st. No fooling.
I know years ago you asked me to do a volleyball game, and I had to politely decline.
Volleyball games are fun here. Hubbard going to work. Not that time, and Cherry had the inside position on Clayton. Look at Harvey. He's found something, but Hubbard was there waiting. Timed it perfectly. Harvey's been responsible for this most recent Marian surge. And then Clayton will look to pass first from this spot. His points are going to be kind of loose change buckets for the senior from Ben Davis. Shot clock at 9. Lewis kind of pulled the string on that shot as it was going up. Cherry off the window, and Cherry then had a hard landing on that leg. He is down behind the play. Yoon will take the 3. Yoon will make the 3, and now will stop it as Cherry had the roughest of landings that time. and immediately starts grabbing at that left ankle. Trainer racing out to take a look at Tayshawn Cherry. The other end, Gavin Yoon with the first made three for Taylor. He is a 36% three-point shooter. But a season where it has seemingly been injury on top of injury for the Marian Knights. Another one has just happened as Tayshawn Cherry is down in a good amount of pain on the baseline next to the Taylor bench. We'll go ahead and step aside. The minute 52 left to play here in the first half. Knights lead by 3, but their best player just took a mighty hard fall. Back after this on the ISC Sports Network.
Does your school offer high-quality education? Does it offer virtual or hybrid options? Marian University Preparatory School educates students in a safe, faith-based environment focused on college and career exploration. Here at Marian University Preparatory School, we empower parents and help students to master what they love and learn as they live. We are now enrolling students in grades 6 through 9 this fall. Full financial aid packages are still available. Act now to make MU Prep your school for 2022.
Well, that is Tayshawn Cherry's mother, who is obviously concerned with watching her son take the fall that he did. Now, thankfully, he is walking off, albeit slowly, but doing so under his own power. So I think that may have been just a little concern that he rolled an ankle there for a moment. It would not surprise me to see a go back to the locker room, start stretching. We'll see you back here, hopefully for half number 2. It's also one of the things that you worry about if you sit for 15 minutes. That thing kind of blowing up a little bit on you.
Yeah, you got to be careful now. If he's taped, they'll probably just tape over the tape and try to strengthen it a little bit.
And then Clayton got caught with his hands in the cookie jar. So Christian Harvey will shoot 2.
And at this level, I'd be stunned if he had both ankles taped. Now, again, they'll just reinforce that. But once you take the tape off and that kind of thing, again, that's when the swelling really starts to occur.
Harvey with 9. Again, he has caught fire as of late for Marian. One of 5 seniors being recognized today on Senior Day. He's at 10. Cherry and Coach Hetty having a conversation on the sideline. Cherry and Harvey have combined for 24, the Marian 39. Hubbard looking to go to work on Goman.
Kind of get the feeling that Taylor has a little bit of a power play right now, you know? Opportunity to score some points.
Shot clock at 6. Niehaus lost it, but he's going to say it's going to be a foul on the way up. We're going to get that on Goman. 1 plus the bonus. So Goman picks up his second. Niehaus in the 50% range in terms of his free throws on the year for the former Washington Hatchet. Gets that one to softly roll off the rim. And Taylor now a perfect 8 of 8 from the free throw line. Misses that one. Perhaps the broadcaster jinx was put on purpose by the home announcer on that one.
Perhaps.
Grant my apologies. Goman for 3. Brian tried to save it, but couldn't get there in time. Again, Goman, a little set shot Buford from 22 feet. Yeah, that doesn't look like a great three-point form. 37% three-point shooter.
I already had a good look at it. I mean, he was wide open, and there's nothing wrong at all with the shot.
So Goman will come out. Gavin Foe will come back in to replace him.
Other than you could argue it didn't go in. That would be the only thing wrong with it.
He has been a more than effective three-point shooter in his days at Marian. Furman, the contested 15-footer does not go, and good rebound by Bryant. 10-second different shot clock and game clock. Harvey gets downhill. Harvey got fouled, and Christian Harvey will get 2. And again, with Cherry on the sideline currently, Harvey has to take more of a aggressive role offensively, and he has done exactly that. Max Gizzi will come in. Going to replace Brian. A miss by Harvey. Difference between the shot clock and game clock now is at 6 seconds. Ullum on the drive and got it to go. Jackson Ullum, his first bucket. Playing for the Bears of Monroe Central. Part of a really good team at the 2A level a year ago. Harvey will hold for a final look for the Knights. Gets open and lays it up and in. Ullum from 60. Misses it wide left. Harvey didn't get the dunk, but he got the bucket, and he finishes the half with 14. As Marian on his and many others' senior day, trying to claim their 20th win of the season. The Richmond Red Devils got 14. His Marian Knights lead by 5. Halftime next on ISC.
The minute I stepped foot on campus, I didn't want to leave.
Everyone here is about helping you succeed.
It's hard work, but it's totally worth it. I have so much support from my advisors.
The nursing program is why I chose Marian.
I'm studying to be a teacher.
I'm a business major.
My professors really challenge me, and I know I'll be ready for my career.
A great education is the best thing you could ever do for yourself.
Marian University, an exceptional education and an unforgettable experience. Apply today for full scholarship consideration at marian.edu.
Is your building haunted or infested with icky snakes? Then tear it down. The Raised Trash Demolition Squad can flatten buildings up to 3 stories tall. Whether it's a commercial or residential structure, the Raised Trash Demo experts will make it go boom. And with their roll-off containers, they'll haul away the mess quicker than you can say, hey, there used to be a building there. Bring your old fire trap to its knees with Raised Trash.
RaisedTrash.com.
Raised Trash.
Still waiting? You could have been seen by an orthopedic specialist at Ortho Indy Urgent Care. Avoid the wait, cost, and drama of the ER. Ortho Indy Urgent Care. Orthopedic care without the drama. Find a location near you.
Meet Kate. She has a lot to juggle. Family, work. It can lead to trying days and tired nights. But we know Kate, and at Indiana Members Credit Union, we know at some point her space at a premium life may change. IMCU is here to help Kate and you find your space. Now, add on or remodel with an introductory rate of 3.9% APR on a home equity line of credit. Today, it's all about Kate. Tomorrow, it's all about you. Because at IMCU, it's you that matters.
Still waiting? You could have been seen by an orthopedic specialist at Ortho Indy Urgent Care. Avoid the wait, cost, and drama of the ER. Ortho Indy Urgent Care. Orthopedic care without the drama. Find a location near you.
We're at halftime here at the PE Center on this senior day, the regular season finale. Marian getting a good battle from Taylor. Knights lead by a score of 42-37. We talked about this a few minutes ago, that we'll soon transition from basketball to a variety of spring sports that will broadcast for Marian University on the ISC Sports Network. And one of them, of course, is the always successful softball program at Marian. Joining us now, their longtime head coach in Scott Fleming, kind enough to stop by the broadcast booth. Coach, as always, it is good to see you. And I know while some schools will be playing this week, last week, etc., we always kind of hold back a little bit. The weather's a little bit warmer. Your first game's coming up in a couple of weeks. Tell us about it.
Yeah, my philosophy has always been, because the season's very, very long, is to kind of push things back a little bit and just really give us 5 or 6 good weeks of practice so that I feel like we're ready to go when we start playing. So our first game, we open up March 2nd up at Indiana Tech, and then we leave for Florida. We'll be down in Florida from March 4th through the 11th, play 10 games down there.
And it is not a guarantee that every spring sport gets to play in the state of Florida, because I know on the baseball side, they're playing conference games by the time that spring break rolls around. What's it like to take your team on a Florida trip every year?
Well, it's again, it's just an opportunity. We don't have classes that week, so just an opportunity to get away and be together for the week and, just play. We'll practice Sunday when we're down there and then start playing Monday, take Wednesday off, and then play Saturday and fly home. So 10 games against other schools from all over, and so it just kind of see where we're at and kind of get us ready for conference play when we get back. So it's a good trip. A lot of our parents and families are down there, and so it's really a nice trip.
What are your expectations for your group this year?
I'm really excited with about our team. We had a really good fall. We returned a lot from last year, basically losing one starter. Now, obviously, she was really good. She was an NAIA All-American, so we'll definitely miss her. But we return a lot, and we've got a really good freshman class. So our through the fall and even through spring, our practices this few weeks has been very competitive and very good. Everybody's pushing each other, so I'm really excited.
And if I remember right, your #1 pitcher last year was a freshman last year, correct?
Yes, that is correct. Yeah, Olivia Stunkel, and she had a really good year last year. And what's neat for me is you can kind of see that growth when they come back as a sophomore. So she's working extremely hard. Had a really good fall, this fall, and I look for her to have a really good year for us.
It seems in a lot of sports, we talk about, you start with Indiana Wesleyan and Marian. Those are the two you worry about. Iowa finished first, Taylor second in terms of the conference tournament here at your place a year ago. What's the conference shaping up to be like here in a few weeks?
Yeah, I mean, Indiana Wesleyan returns a lot. Taylor's off to a really good start. New coach, and but I just think from top to bottom, our conference is continuing to get better, and I look for that to be the same, this year.
We are thrilled to have a pair of doubleheaders of Marian softball on ISC this year. We'll be here on campus on Tuesday, April 4th, Saturday, April the 22nd. You're in charge of sunny and 60 both of those days, all right?
That sounds good. I hope we're having this good weather now. I hope we don't pay for it, in March, later in March and April. So, yeah.
Scotty, it's always good to see you, my friend.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Of course, buddy, and good luck at the start of the season coming up in a couple of weeks. Again, we'll have a pair of Marian softball doubleheaders, a pair of Marian baseball doubleheaders, and Marian lacrosse all coming your way during the month of April on the ISC Sports Network. And oh, yes, the Crossroads League track and field finals are here at Marian on May 4th and 5th. We'll have those for you as well from St. Vincent Health Field. Here from the PE Center, Knights lead Taylor, 42-37. Jim Leisure rejoins me next here on the ISC Sports Network.
Pat Sullivan here for the Michaelis Corporation. They've been in business over 35 years. I'm here with Joe Polizzi to talk emergency services. Now, Joe, when I set my house on fire with a toaster, you were actually in my yard before the firefighters left.
Well, Pat, I remember that call like it was yesterday, and although I was disappointed that it was yours, I was happy that I was going to be able to provide some assistance.
This true story, a firefighter actually told me I needed to call someone for emergency services, kind of obvious, and I told him Michaelis was on the way. He said, great, because they're the real deal. Joe, now what do you do in these situations when you show up?
Well, we try to be a calming influence, and we try to find out what the needs are of the family. Everybody's needs are different. Everybody's desires are different. What we try to do is match what we could provide with what they need and do it very smoothly.
I've lived it. If you find yourself needing emergency restoration service in the wake of a fire, flood, or storm, give the Michaelis Corporation a call anytime, 24/7, 844-FIX-INDY.
This is the Pepsi for America's Best Barbecue. Worthy of 100-mile detours and 1,000 likes. Looks good. This is the Pepsi for mopping, dipping, and dousing. Whatever you're craving, this is the Pepsi for you. This is the Pepsi for serious fans and serious eats. This is the Pepsi for Sundays at the ballpark and days off at your favorite pizza joint. Right, Aaron?
Best slice in New York.
Whatever you're craving, this is the Pepsi for you.
Back inside of the PE Center, Marian enjoying a 5-point halftime lead. Today's game on the ISC Sports Network presented by BSN Sports. Thank you, BSN, the preferred provider of apparel for Marian University Athletics. Jim Leisure rejoins us now. We'll get halftime highlights in a moment. Jim, overall, your thoughts, what you saw in half number one?
Well, it was a very enjoyable basketball game, obviously, regardless of which team you're rooting for. 5-point ball game, and the leading scorers that I have are Harvey with 14, Cherry with 13, and the big man for Taylor, no surprise, is Jason Hubbard. So You're going to come back out. Anton Webb's going to be able to play in the second half. Could affect, both teams. Obviously, Taylor's ability to score the ball and Marion's ability to defend it.
I think the question, for Taylor is, can you finally get some threes to go? They made one from Gavin Yoon in the first half. And for Marian, playing around some foul problems. Tayshaun Cherry's got 2, Goman's got 2, Poe's got 2. Again, Anton Webb currently sitting on 3. The other big question, obviously, for Marian is just how much is Tayshaun Cherry able to give it a go? Again, he was down in a good amount of pain with 2 minutes left to go before halftime. Turned an ankle. I think is a little not as bad as he thought it was when he landed.
I would agree.
Hopefully we'll see him play unimpeded here in half number 2. Quick check of our first half highlights as these go by. Let's kind of take it, team by team. If you're Scott Heddy, what's your message to your guys at halftime?
We got to come out. We got to just be a little more consistent with the basketball. We can't just rely on one guy to do all the work. Well, they got 2 guys there, but again, you don't know whether Cherry's going to be available. If your coach Andrew's on the other side, you say, guys, we kind of got him where we want him. Let's just stay after him. Don't let up. Foot on the gas. Keep playing, Trojan basketball. As you see, a nice little turnaround in the lane there for a bucket.
Full scoring recap for Taylor. Jason Hubbard, 17. Anton Webb, 16. 4 for Jackson Lewis and Jeff Clayton. 3 for Gavin Yoon. 2 for Jackson Ullum and 1 for Grant Niehaus. For Marian, 14 for Christian Harvey. 13 for Tayshaun Cherry. 6 for Luke Kelly. 4 for Brody Whitaker. 2 for Hayden Langcable. 2 for Luke Goman. And 1 for Jackson Ames. Gavin Foe, Josh Bryan, and Nick Gizzy all played for the Knights, but did not score in half number 1. It was Tayshaun Cherry early. It was Christian Harvey late. It all adds up to a 5-point lead at the break for the Marian University Knights. By the way, updating you on the Bethel-St. Francis game, the Pilots have a 10-point lead at halftime. Again, if Bethel wins that one, regardless of what happens here, Marian will be the 5 seed. They'll go to Mishawaka to play Bethel on Wednesday night in the 4-5 game. Again, the hope for both Marian and Bethel that 5 teams from the Crossroads League make the postseason. I think both teams would feel better with a win under their belts today. Our score at the break, 42-37. Marian leads Taylor. And we're back after this on the ISC Sports Network.
Pat Sullivan here for the Michaelis Corporation. They've been in business for 35-plus years. I'm here with the owner, Richard Michaelis. Hey, Richard, what's the key to the growth over the last 35 years?
Pat, I believe being a family-owned local business that is involved in the community has a lot to do with it.
All right, so you have a lot of services. Tell us about some of those services.
We're really, really strong in the emergency services, smoke, fire damage restoration, storm and water damage restoration, all while working with your insurance company. We also do mold remediation, basement and crawl space waterproofing, foundation repair, and roof repair. We are a full-service company.
All right, as to the owner, we know you wear a lot of hats. What do you do day to day?
I really love being out in the field working with our clients. It gives me a great opportunity to understand their needs so we can take care of them.
Your hands-on approach, I think, is a lot to do with the success of Michaelis. If you find yourself needing their services, give them a call anytime, 24/7 at 844-FIX-INDY. The Michaelis Corporation. Construct, renovate, restore.
I've always liked Indianapolis. I've been interested in the bigger city life. The community and everything fell into place.
With my degree, I plan on becoming a pediatric nurse. Indianapolis has several hospitals and different options to choose from as to where I should go.
I chose Indianapolis because I love the Pacers, I love the Colts, and this is a basketball city. Just wanted to stay in the city, play in front of my friends and family, and try to give Marian my best.
Who's got time for hot dogs and disco music? Your mind's cluttered with thoughts of commercial waste removal. So thank the good Lord above for Ray's Trash. Ray's will collect the intolerable rubbish at all your company's locations up to 6 times a week. That's 42 times in dog weeks. They shred documents and recycle too. And Ray's has roll-off containers for big loads, like construction waste or when your giant dies. Got a business? Get yourself to raystrash.com.
raystrash.com.
Ray's Trash.
Both teams getting ready for half number 2, and you can help Marian Athletics by joining the M Club. That's how you support student athletes at Marian University. For more information, visit marian.edu/M Club. And alongside Jim Leisure, Greg Rakestraw with you. Busy week for us coming up on the ISC Sports Network. Again, our cameras will be here on Tuesday night when the Marian women take on Mount Vernon Nazarene. We will also have both Brebeuf at Carmel and Pike at Warren Central on Tuesday night. And on Friday night, we'll close out our high school boys basketball regular season. This has kind of become our traditional end of regular season game. Avon visiting Danville on Friday night. And now you get to see Newcastle and a much improved Muncie Central team on Friday for our friends over at 9 Star.
Yeah, at the venerable Newcastle Fieldhouse as well. Always love going to Newcastle.
We had a huge game in the North Central Conference last night with Kokomo and Anderson playing basically the de facto league championship game that was won by Flory Badunga and the Kokomo Wildcats. Of course, the pairing show for high school hoops tomorrow at 5 o'clock.
Well, every year there are always a couple of sectionals across the state where people just simply can't wait to see. And I do believe that Sectional 9 is one of those. And I believe you said, was it Sectional 10? I think people were also.
So 8 and 10, 8 is the Hamilton County sectional.
Okay, all right.
And I always feel the need to apologize to Zionsville because I know they're not in Hamilton County, but they get lumped into the Hamilton County sectional. And Sectional 10 is the northeast side
Marion
sectional,
County,
the Lawrence North Central
Cathedral.
Yeah, it's Attucks Warren Central group. That's where our cameras will be in 2 weeks on ISC and MyNDTV. So Marian will have the ball to begin this second half. And this is the part where we remind people that Fan Cam is on the broadcast and is on the Jumbotron here at the PE Center. And that is a very popular element that we have added to our broadcast over the last couple of years. Well, Tayshawn Cherry is back on the floor, starting 5 for each of these two teams. Bryan, Goman, Harvey, Lang Cable, and Cherry. And then for Taylor, Lewis, Hubbard, Webb, Clayton, Yoon, the 5 on the floor.
Yeah, also to note, Greg, Marian was a little late getting out. I think Coach Hetty and his staff were in there giving him a little extra love, a little more instruction before they came out.
Well, I also know how Scott's teams are wired and are built. Cherry stepped through it again. Webb with 3 fouls, couldn't do much. Goman there to clean it up as Goman gets his second bucket. To finish the thought, allowing 37 points is a very un-Marian-like effort defensively. So I guarantee you any sort of conversation or consternation was not about the offensive side of the ball. Clayton had it poked away, but Webb wins the race to get there, and Yoon left alone and splashes home the 3. The Yoon gets his second bucket. Both have been from 3-point range.
Both teams in this man-to-man. I haven't seen anything else from either squad.
Basket cut by Lang Cable, but for contact, didn't get it.
Yoon getting it done on both ends, getting a big 3 and a rebound on the other side.
Took a while for Hubbard to get going in the first half. Let's see if it's kind of a similar pattern here. Get some other guys some touches and then go to work. And Webb just ran out of real estate. Gizzy in, Harvey out. And that must have been a requested timeout by Harvey because he is making a beeline to the locker room. So a little offensive productivity declines with Harvey exiting. Leaves a chance for Bryan, and Bryan, who has been a non-factor today, pretty key player for Marian. And he's been pretty quiet offensively.
And Totten Webb with his 4th rebound in really limited action because of the fouls.
And the reason that Harvey sprinted to the locker room, he apparently needs a shoe change. So he has brought a new pair of kicks out with him from the locker room. Foul on Goman as Webb got the weird angled miss from Lewis. Goman's foul, his 3rd, and Webb will shoot 2. And as soon as Christian Harvey relaces, he'll be back in the game. Webb misses. Just a 45% free throw shooter. And of all the reasons you can go sprint to the locker room, new shoes is one of the best. Webb got that one to go. The 6'8 junior. And it's back to a one-possession game. This has really been kind of between, I'd say, 3 and 6 for most of the game. Taylor's had a handful of small leads. Gizzy tries to power his way in and couldn't finish.
Webb continues to clean the glass. Again, they need him in the basketball game.
Hubbard around Cherry. Shot block, going to be a jump ball. Yep. Jump ball. The arrow will keep it here. That ball was held long enough to draw the whistle.
And you're going to get a good look at it right here.
Good job by Brian. Again, you get a lot more ability for the defender to go straight up than you used to. That's exactly what Brian did. Cherry going to be called for the foul, which is his third. So he had the ball with one hand, but kind of had that arm wrapped around the offensive player with the other. Well, they're going to say it's his second foul. Now, again, I had him with 2 because of that technical foul earlier. I wonder if they're going to not call that as a personal, that technical. We'll see. Webb on the drive. He's got 9. We'll monitor that situation where the Cherry's sitting on 2 or 3. But it's a 1-point game.
Yeah, rules are, I know at the high school level a technical is a personal.
Sure.
And rules can be different from Friday to Saturday.
Lane Cable from 17 and nestles it home.
So that do you know for sure, is that a college deal or?
I have always been under the impression at the college level, the amount of college games I do, that is also
Okay.
But I also will note, as the 3 is missed by Webb, that it was a 1-shot technical, not 2.
Right.
Which told me maybe it was adjudicated differently.
Okay.
So we'll see.
Yep.
Obviously, the second foul, not third, is more of a beneficial result for Marian. Harvey pulls the string. Hubbard goes flying, and Harvey lays it up and in.
Yeah, very much a little sleight of hand there. You kind of fake the old going up in front of the rim and then come back underneath.
I believe that's called the hey, look over here. Yeah. Yoon on the drive, turns it over, and now Harvey. He's got Hubbard back, so it won't be easy. And Harvey, I love the sportsman gesture by Hubbard to catch him. And Harvey, knowing how good of a shot blocker he was facing, did the one thing you're absolutely supposed to do, jump right at him.
Absolutely. Just create the contact, try to finish, and who knows, you may get the roll. You're going to see it right here. Just go up there and give it a shot.
If you try to go at an angle, he's got you beat.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's got you covered. So Harvey, 4 of 5 from the line. Make it 4 of 6. He's a 78% shooter. All-time leader in steals in program history. Top 20 in terms of points scored. And has done that in 4 years. He's been in the program for 5, but redshirted his first year here.
Also leads the team in assists, so the offense tends to run through him.
Oh, yes. 3-year starter for Coach Hetty. The lead bumps back up to 6. And this has been kind of the ebb and flow of the game. Taylor will get within a bucket or a point, and Marian will stretch it back out. Brian, offensive foul, took the charge, and that's big. That's 3 on Hubbard.
Yeah, Josh just saw that basically developing and just slid over. You see it right there. Very nice call. I mean, that was old-fashioned set. He was set.
That'll bring us to our media timeout. Scott Hetty's team has the ball in a 6-point lead when we come back as you're watching the regular season finale of Marian University basketball on the ISC Sports Network.
Marian University is like a home to me.
Campus is where I made friends that I know will last a lifetime.
Academics, sports, or arts, Marian's got something for you.
Plus, downtown Indy is just 10 minutes away from campus.
I'm a huge sports fan. Living in Indy, I've got the Knights, the Colts, and the Pacers.
Applying was so fast and easy.
I went to Marian for the education, but what I took away was the experience.
Marian University offers an exceptional education and an unforgettable experience. Apply today for full scholarship consideration at marian.edu.
Once again, let's thank our outstanding ISC Sports Network crew. Thank you to Kevin Rademan, Eric Kinnett, Eldon Wheeler, Rob Lynch. Thanks to Dennis Glover as well as Jordan Shue. Many of our crew worked the Southport Semi-State this morning. They're going back to Southport Fieldhouse because the hospitality room is really good there for the 8 o'clock game. And then Jordan, our director, is heading to both the home of the Frankfurt Hot Dogs and the Western University Dolphins, Case Arena, for tonight's 1A North Semi-State Championship featuring Tri and Bethany Christian. You see those on the IHSAA Champions Network, powered by the ISC Sports Network. That was the media timeout. Marian will have the basketball when we return. And Marian looking for a 9th consecutive win against their rivals in the Northeast. Basket cut by Lane Cable. And again, he realizes he's got Hubbard. He has 6 inches on him. Like, you know what? Let's work for another shot here, fellas. Cherry hasn't scored this half, and that's still a true statement. Cherry's got 13. He averages 18 a game. Also of note for Taylor, Hubbard hasn't scored this half. Webb, good move, and again, Cherry potentially in foul trouble. Didn't want to make a move there, so Webb gets the bucket. He's got 11. Whitaker will check in next. Dead ball for Marian. Ullum and Furman will check in for Taylor. Now Cherry going to work. Hubbard hedging just a bit. Harvey turns down the 3, but yep, he traveled. Just kind of took a hop and a skip. There's been a very limited turnover game by both teams today.
Yeah, fairly well played from that end.
Just lifted that foot just enough. St. Francis now has taken the lead on Bethel. And again, that is a big deal for Marian. If Marian wins and St. Francis wins, they will play Bethel here on Wednesday. Hubbard step through and score. He's got 19. And if that's the case, we'll have that game for you on the ISC Sports Network. Wednesday night, 7 o'clock at the PE Center. Those two teams know they are facing each other regardless. Cherry and 1. He is off the schneid for half number 2. And if that's on Webb, that's 4. And I'm pretty sure it is, and the scoreboard now confirms it.
Coach Andrews just says, what? Kind of had his hands open and just said,
I am not going to identify the official that is. He's probably get in trouble if he did. But Coach Andrews kind of said, where was the foul? Here at Marian, he literally pointed to the video. He's like, take a look.
Take a look at it, yeah. And, you know, and that is so true, Greg. At plenty of times I'll look at something and I'll go, boy, I don't know. That was awfully, nitpicky. And then you watch the other angle, the angle the official had, and he clearly had him hooked. So a lot of times it may not look like it from the angle you have, but the angle the official has is much better.
So Webb sits with 4 fouls. Let's see if Hubbard goes to work in his absence.
And once again, Webb was really starting to get on track offensively, so big deal.
Step back by Hubbard, and if he hits that, you just tip your cap. You couldn't let him kind of beach up underneath, which is what Cherry didn't allow to happen. I'm not sure that's a guardable shot for a kid of his athleticism.
Yeah, well, that and then the fact that he was fading away as well.
52-49. And they're going to call a moving screen. And that's going to be on Lane Cable.
And I kind of saw that developing. They were trying to get Cherry free, and he just came up from the baseline to set a back screen and just never really got set. As the defender went to step around him, he kind of stepped in front of him late.
So Hayden will take a momentary breather as Luke Hetty checks in. Hetty a pair of 3s in the first half. Hetty got caught on a screen. Yoon gets downhill and lays it up, an in 1-point game. Yoon now with 8. Cherry spins in traffic. Contested shot and didn't get it to go. Now Taylor can take the lead this time down. Hubbard stepped through, lay it in. 23 for Hubbard. And a timeout taken by Marian. Taylor back in front with 12:32 left to go. Full timeout for the Knights. We'll step aside. Lead is now 1 for the visitors on the ISC Sports Network.
Pepsi's always had great taste. Today, try great taste with zero sugar. This is the Pepsi with zero compromises. This is Pepsi Zero Sugar.
Today's game on the ISC Sports Network is presented by our friends at Indian Rivers Credit Union. Thanks to our good folks at IMCU. They're proud to support Marian University. Now offer a free Marian Knights debit card with a free checking account. Get your Knight debit card today and show your support. Visit any IMCU branch or sign up online now at imcu.com. Membership savings required, federally insured by the NCUA. It's been a game of runs going back and forth, and right now momentum in favor of Taylor.
Yeah, not only has it been a game of team runs where one team maybe goes on an 8-0 run or whatever, but it seems like individuals have just taken over this game at times, and they disappear, and another guy steps up and he takes over.
Cherry will take a breather for Marian. They will go pretty small here as Foe comes in at 6'3". So nobody taller than Goman at 6'6" on the floor for the Knights. Because of Webb being out, Taylor has gone somewhat smaller as well, with Hubbard and Clayton both at 6'7". Shot clock at 14. Petty will fire. Not that time for Luke. And the rebound controlled by Hubbard, who will now lead the break for Taylor. Clayton's got the mismatch. Good help by Goman. And Clayton is fouled on the shot. Good recognition by Taylor. They're playing with two bigs on the floor. Marian really just one, and immediately Jackson Ames will check in for the Knights as Clayton goes to the line, which is a rare occurrence. He is 7 of 14 at the stripe this year. And misses. So Goman will check out. Ames will check in. Ames with one free throw from his time on the floor and half number one. Whitaker got fouled. An aggressive take by Brody. And he will shoot 2 free throws. And he will be the leading returning scorer next year for Marian. Top 3 scorers, all seniors, in Cherry, Harvey, and Langcable. There's a good amount of turnover from last year's team with players like Christian Stewart, Jacob Wiley. Defensive stopper in Johnson, and then Malik Edmonds all exiting the program as Whitaker makes them both. And 5 seniors will depart this group whenever the run comes to its end. And the score update, Bethel now leading St. Francis by 2 with 7:57 left to play. Shot clock at 11. Ullum for 3. Not that time, and great job by Foe to keep Hubbard blocked out. Harvey goes on the attack and tried to find Ames, but throws it off of Hubbard. Trying to isolate Hubbard on Foe. And now they get it to him. Shot clock at 8. And that'll be a blocking foul on Foe. 15 foul, no free throws there. Gavin picks up his third. And
does reset the shot clock to 20, however, and give another opportunity.
On the slip, there's going to be a hold on that by Whitaker, which prevents, frankly, a dunk. That's the 16 foul, so now the next foul will send Taylor to the line, and they'll be in the bonus for the final 10:43. Goldman back in, Foe will have a seat. That is a tough ask to ask the redshirt freshman to check one of the best players in the league and the leading scorer in the history of Taylor men's basketball. Clayton going to work. Blocked by Ames. Shot clock at 10. Hubbard. And everybody had rotated down. Everybody chases the ball, and Yoon is there to put it up and in. Gavin Yoon with 10. Marian is kind of a step slow on that possession. And now a foul going to be called against Marian, clearing space in the low block. That'll go against Jackson Ames, and another Marian turnover. And another timeout taken by the Knights. See if this is going to be a full or a 30. It looks like it's going to be a full timeout, so again, let's step aside. Taylor the ball on a 2-point lead when we come back on the ISC Sports Network.
Own a home? Here's a tip. Don't dump your garbage in the street. Neighbors get fussy about that sort of thing. Instead, count on Ray's Trash to haul it away. Ray's can supply 96-gallon waste and recycling bins that'll make you the envy of the cul-de-sac. And when you need a roll-off container for that big job, guess who's going to be there for you? That's right, Ray's. Your filth needs a place of its own. Ray's Trash will move it there. You know where to go.
Ray'sTrash.com.
Ray's Trash.
Today's game on the ISC Sports Network brought to you in part by the Michaelis Corporation. From ground-up building projects to around-the-clock emergency security services, no one answers your prayers or the phones quicker than Michaelis. Call 1-844-FIX-INDY. And alongside Jim Leisure, Greg Rakestraw with you. 56-54, Taylor in front. Again, they're trying to get their first win since November of 2019 against Marian. Taylor can be anywhere seated from 6 to 8 in the league tournament, which starts on Wednesday. Marian is going to be in the 4-5 game. They know whom they are playing. It's simply a matter of where that game is going to take place. Bethel has a 2-point lead in that contest with 6 minutes left to play.
And this is where the leadership on the Marian team needs to step up and say, guys, we got 10 minutes to play, all right, and we got an opportunity for a home game, albeit the other result is part of that, but there needs to be a little bit more of a sense of urgency here.
Hubbard getting a breather here for Taylor. Last time that happened, he was out for about a minute. Niehaus on the drive. Cherry there waiting on him. Shot underneath the rim does not go, and eventually Cherry will track it down. Cherry has 3 points since halftime, 16 for the game. Harvey declines the 3. Cherry will go to work on Niehaus, and Niehaus had a forearm in his back the entire time. So Niehaus whistled for the foul, his first, and team foul number 5. And I would imagine Hubbard's absence from this game would be minimal. Harvey left alone, finally says, all right, you're going to leave me alone, I'll take it, and he missed it. They've been giving him that much room on the three-point line most of the game. Shot clock at 10. Clayton powers it through and scores. Well done by Clayton. His first bucket since halftime, and the 4-point lead for Taylor, their largest of the game.
Well, he worked hard for it.
Shot clock is down to 7. Harvey gets downhill, steps through, misses. Goman tips it alive, but it's a Marian team that looks a bit gassed, to be honest with you. Allum pulls for 3, and then Niehaus commits the foul. And Sherry wasn't happy about Niehaus throwing that ball off of him, and Jordan Beam's going to say something to both guys about it as well.
I don't think there was anything, again, dirty or malicious. He didn't know the whistle was going to be blown for the foul, so he's trying the old, hey, I'm falling out of bounds, I'll throw it off the other guy.
Next foul against Taylor, by the way, will send the Knights to the penalty for the 1 plus the bonus. Max Gizzi back out there for Marian. And Cherry turns, can't get it to go. And Whitaker had it for a moment but couldn't hang on. So Harvey, again getting a breather. Cherry seemingly has gotten cold from the floor. Where does the offense come from for the Knights? Yoon splits the defenders. Blocked by Goman. Goman, one of the top shot blockers in Marian history. And another foul has been called off the ball as Cherry was trying to clear space. And Niehaus, I think, knows he's got a little shot of hanging with Cherry on the low block, so he gives the foul. And with that, Hubbard now will come back in. And Cherry will shoot 1 plus the bonus.
And at some point, if you're Taylor, you got to put Webb back in the basketball game and just let him play. If he fouls out, he fouls out. Right now, he ain't doing you any good.
Cherry now with 17. And of note, let's see Christian Harvey currently on the bench for Marian. That is obviously something worth monitoring. He's already kind of raced back to the locker room one time. That was to change shoes.
Well, you had asked a second ago, where does the offense come from? Well, that's the obvious answer, but not if he's on the bench.
Hubbard will take a 3, and it's rare for him to take a bad shot. That's probably one of them right there.
And he knew it immediately. He followed that shot like he knew, you know what, that has no chance.
Now Cherry. Clayton got a piece, but Cherry able to track it down.
Good active hands.
Petty. Whitaker, a contested 16-footer that does not go. Now Hubbard in transition. And Hubbard, again, thought contact was coming, and just Goman just got out of the way. Just threw him off. Both teams kind of in an offensive lull. Cherry, no.
Crowd kind of getting into it here, Greg. Getting a little bit louder.
And now Taylor wants a timeout with 6:36 left to go, a 30-second timeout. So in this case, we will keep it right here. Get all of the up-to-the-minute information on Knights Athletics at MUKnights.com and follow on Twitter at MUKnights. That's at MUKnights. Both teams now just 2 timeouts to use here in the final 6:36. And we'll kind of see Christian Harvey now back in the huddle for Marian, and I would imagine that he'd be back on the floor post-haste. As he members of the Lang Cable family. Watching what is potentially their son's final game in this building after 5 years. And when I see all the Lang Cables here, I wonder who's running the Copper Kettle Inn in Morristown tonight.
You know what? That was my first exact statement as well. Grew up just basically west of there. And that was a staple for our family.
I'm not sure I've ever gotten as many texts after a broadcast as I did the night that Mr. Lane Cable gave the entire crew free chicken dinners to the Copper Kettle.
Wow.
And thankfully, one of them actually made their way back to me.
Wow. You know, years ago, my wife and I's anniversary, I believe it was the 22nd, and that is traditionally copper. So I bought her some Duracell batteries, and we had dinner at the Copper Kettle.
Hubbard got fouled. Yep, Cherry got him on the arm. So Hubbard will shoot 2. Hubbard a perfect 5 of 5 from the line, all those coming in the first half.
And again, they're announcing that as his 3rd.
Yep. There was a difference of opinion on, hey, should the technical foul been called as a personal foul, and it's not officiated that way. So it was 3 on Cherry.
And again, rules evolved down through the years. They changed from year to year. I can remember when at the high school level it was not a personal foul.
Yep.
And then they made it.
That's a relatively new phenomenon. Hubbard now at 25. St. Francis a 3-point lead with 2 minutes to play, and that big game in Cherry. A big bucket, his 2nd field goal of the half. So, again, if that score holds between St. Francis and Bethel, and if Marian wins, they are playing here on Wednesday night. We'll keep you updated. Webb is back in there with 4 fouls for Taylor. Shot clock at 7. Hubbard. Goman was trying to draw the contact, and Hubbard just kind of forced it up there. That'll be a shot clock violation. I think Marian is asking for an offensive foul. I think Taylor's asking for a personal foul. Both sides will go away unhappy, which works out in the end for Marian.
I thought Hubbard kind of pushed off there, and then you're going to see another one here where he pushes off again. And the second one was not quite as egregious as the first one, so either one of those gets called, they get called as much as they don't in terms of that much contact.
2 to tie, 3 to take the lead for the Knights. Lane Cable just kind of threw it on the rim and drew the foul on Hubbard. That's his 4th. That's a potential big moment in this game. And Lane Cable, a 76% free throw shooter, will shoot 2.
Yeah, so now if you're a Taylor fan, I mean, you are officially in foul trouble as your 2 best players both have 4.
Hayden connects from the line. His sister Brooklyn played here at Marian University as well. Hayden's older brother, after a very similar career to Hayden in terms of his individual numbers at Morristown. Played Division II basketball at Northwood up in Michigan. Hayden's got 6, and we're tied at 60.
And again, credit this Trojan defense, because Hayden has not really been able to get open all day, really. That's part of the reason he averages 12.
Webb looking to go to work on Cherry. Step through, left hand, got it, pretty move. Webb with 13.
Pretty move indeed. Really nice job with the offhand.
Harvey continues to sit for Marian. Lane Cable for the lead. Not that time. 3-pointers have simply gone away for Marian here in half number 2. Ryan will check back in, next stoppage in play. And they'll isolate for Webb. And then Cherry's going to be called for a hand check foul, which that is his 4th.
He's going to say that he had both hands on him at once, and that's the call. He kind of had the forearm, and then he puts the hand on him, and that's 2 hands. So.
Webb is a 45% free throw shooter. He's 1 of 2 from the line today. But at this point, with 4:23 to go, he's got to roll the dice with Cherry and hope for the best.
Yeah, I said it all the time. I mean, again, if he fouls out, he's on the bench. He can't help you. But, if you take him out and set him on the bench, he's out of the game. He can't help you. So keep him in the game.
Brian and Harvey return, so the starting five back on the floor for the Knights. Free throw left short, and Lane Cable snares the miss.
We'll see if that missed free throw figures into this deal. At this point, they're all important. They're important the whole game, I get that, but man, you got to hit them late.
Harvey, cut off by Lewis. Cherry, fouled. Lewis thought he picked him clean. Official says no. Lewis commits the foul. 1 plus the bonus on the 9th team foul. Cherry to the line.
Yeah, got to be careful there if you're Jackson Lewis. He kind of pointed at the video board. Now, when a coach does it, that's one thing. When a player does it, I could see where an official would think that's just being a bit too disrespectful.
I would say if there's a foul there, it might have been on Clayton on the bump as Cherry was trying to drive. And we're monitoring the score of the St. Francis Bethel game for you. We'll keep you posted. Cherry connects yet again from the line. He's got 21, and seemingly he and Harvey have kind of taken turns leading the charge offensively. It's become Tayshaun Cherry down the stretch. He's got 22. We're tied at 62. Little zone look here by Marian.
Yeah, a little change. I wonder when they're going to change it up.
Trotted out a 2-3 for the first time all day. Yoon trying to shoot over it. No. And Lane Cable the rebound.
Which is what you do to a zone, obviously. You're going to try to shoot over it first, and if you can get it to extend, you'll hit a cutter.
Lane Cable floater. He's been playing college hoops for 5 years. Kind of an old man move. Are they around me? Put it up off of 1 foot. Marian back in front.
And, you know, I noticed that when Lane Cable realized that he was up against Hubbard initially, he's yelling, help, help, and his teammates went, no, we're zoning this.
Hubbard got it, and he got fouled. If that's on Cherry, that's his 5th. So Hubbard gets the bucket. He's got 27. Cherry has fouled out with 3:20 left to go. So tied at 64.
And right there on the elbow, good call. Wasn't a lot of contact, but, you know, they're looking for that hand to come down. And when the hand comes down and makes contact, doesn't matter how much.
So Scott Heddy taking advantage of the full 30 seconds here. It'll be Whitaker that comes in to replace him.
Yeah, and you know, coaches always do that. The official was like telling Coach Heddy, hey, come on, roll it, roll it, roll it. He knows who he's putting in. They do that at every level. They're like, if I got 30 seconds, I'm going to take 29 of them.
Hubbard has not missed a free throw today. There's still some conversation going on between official score and referee. Whatever that situation was, I think it's been taken care of. So we're ready. Hubbard connects. And both teams have 2 timeouts remaining. Lane Cable turns down the 3. Looks to go to the basket on Webb. Shot clock at 9. Now it's Whitaker. Whitaker poked away by Furman, and he makes the diving effort, which told me that Whitaker thought he touched it last, out of bounds to Taylor.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. If he knew he hadn't touched it, he would not have given that last diving effort there, and unfortunately just couldn't get there in time.
It is a small 5 on the floor for the Knights at 6'6" and under. Webb, one to isolate on the smaller Whitaker. Turn, step through, he traveled, drugged that pivot foot.
We're going to get a replay on it here. You're going to see it right there when he comes off that foot.
2.5 to play.
We talked about this earlier. It's starting to sound like a basketball game in here, Greg. Fans getting into it.
Bowman thought about the three. Drives in the lane, kicks it out. Harvey for the lead. Yes, sir. Christian Harvey with 20. His first three of the game.
Well, he was wide open, and he actually took that extra half a second, too. He was really lining it up.
Webb turns and scores. Tie game. Timeout taken by Taylor with $1:49 left to go. So 67 apiece. Full timeout. Marian or Taylor down to 1 timeout remaining, while Marian still has 2. This timeout presented by First On Site, formerly Moore Restoration. They're here to help you power through whatever comes your way. They're a leading North American property restoration company that specializes in emergency response restoration and reconstruction following disasters of any kind. From fire and flood to catastrophic storms or biohazards, they have the team, technology, and resources to help you restore, rebuild, and rise. Go Knights. What are you drawing up here, Coach?
Oh, gosh. Again, I don't know. You don't have Cherry on the floor. And you're going to have to, I would set a double screen for Lane Cable. Or honestly, again, Christian Harvey just hit that big one. But I'd set a double screen for one of those guys and try to get a good look. Just kills you when you don't have Tayshaun Cherry out there to be one of your offensive options.
So Bear to bring the ball the length of the floor. Both teams now in the double bonus. If we do get to a possession arrow scenario, that is in favor of the Knights. The Jumbotron's a hit here at the PE Center.
Oh, yeah.
Tie game between St. Francis and Bethel. They are going to overtime. And again, that game impacts this game in terms of potential seed for Marian. But they've got to win for that score to have an impact. And right now they're tied at 67. Marian wants to clear it out for Harvey. Now he asks for a ball screen. Harvey. Brian off the window, no. And Foe couldn't hang on to it. Now Taylor has the ball and a chance to take the lead with a minute and change left to play.
Anton Webb with his 7th rebound. Heaven only knows how many he might have had if he hadn't set out the whole first half.
Furman is a better shooter, replacing Clayton. And Webb now guarded by Foe. Webb turns, step through, left hand, missed it, and Foe the rebound. The freshman bodied up and did his job.
Absolutely. Big miss there. You know, you don't miss too many of them when you're that close to the rim and you have a height advantage.
Scott Heddy is not going to take a timeout. Let his kids play through it. Lane Cable. Going to be called for palming the basketball. Carried it. Whitaker now will check in. Brian, I think. Nope. Yep, Brian will check out. Let's see if Taylor wants to use their final timeout here or not. As of now, no. Obviously 9-second difference, shot clock and game clock. Webb on the block. Isolation for him. They've got Hubbard on the other side.
Yeah, you got 2 real offensive options here.
Hubbard shoots over Goman, no, and I think Taylor could have had a better look. Marian, as of now, will not take a timeout. They're going to run it. Let Harvey go to work. Fans all stand. Clock is on your screen. Harvey down the lane, stops, step through, missed it. Overtime, and Harvey got a fantastic look, but we have free basketball. So we are tied at 67. We'll take this timeout. Overtime comes your way next. You're on the ISC Sports Network.
Does your school offer high-quality education? Does it offer virtual or hybrid options? Marian University Preparatory School educates students in a safe, faith-based environment focused on college and career exploration. Here at Marian University Preparatory School, we empower parents and help students to master what they love and learn as they live. We are now enrolling students in grades 6 through 9 this fall. Full financial aid packages are still available. Act now to make MU Prep your school for 2022.
Is your building haunted or infested with icky snakes? Then tear it down. The Raised Trash Demolition Squad can flatten buildings up to 3 stories tall. Whether it's a commercial or residential structure, the Raised Trash Demo experts will make it go boom. And with their roll-off containers, they'll haul away the mess quicker than you can say, hey, there used to be a building there. Bring your old fire trap to its knees with Raised Trash.
RaisedTrash.com.
Raised Trash.
Tonight's overtime presented in part by the Tom O'Brien family and Tom O'Brien Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram. If saving money is important to you, go visit Tom O'Brien, a proud sponsor of Marian Athletics. Tom O'Brien is Indy's preferred Jeep dealer. 2 locations, the biggest Jeep inventory in Indiana. To show our support, Tom O'Brien will donate $200 to Marian for every car any student, parent, employer, or friend of Marian buys when you mention this promo. Go Knights, and go to Tom O'Brien to see how our family works for you since 1933. Well, the 2 games that have an impact on seeding are both going to overtime.
As well they should. You know, I mean, this time of year, this is, again, you want exciting playoff-type basketball, and that's certainly what we've got here.
Each team gets an extra timeout. I think they're going to say, though, that Lane Cable, after he caught the ball in the front court, took a step in the back court, and that means the ball goes right back to Taylor. Possession arrow also goes that way as well.
Coach Scott Hetty is saying he didn't have all 3 points across the line. He had 1 foot on either side of the line, and the ball was past the line. They're saying he stepped back over the line, and Coach Hetty's claiming that his foot never came over the line to step back. He had it there the whole time.
And Marian plays without Tayshawn Cherry. He fouled out with 3 minutes left to go in regulation. Hubbard and Webb each have 4 for Taylor. Hubbard poked away by Harvey. It'll be Taylor ball, but the shot clock is at 3.
Obviously, every team has that play here. Inbounds on the side with less than 3 seconds.
Youn's shot was partially blocked, and they'll stop it. Harvey had possession, but they'll stop it for a shot clock violation. So both teams an empty trip in possession 1 of the overtime. Lane Cable all the way down, missed it. Foe tried to tie up Furman, but couldn't get it for long enough.
Furman just able to wrestle the ball away from him.
Hubbard going ISO Joe, missed it. Hubbard with 28 points. That was a better look than the last shot he took at the end of regulation. Just simply did not go. And then Harvey dribbles it off his foot. Hubbard knocked away, but a foul will be called in the effort, and Hubbard will get 2 free throws. Lane Cable called for the foul, and Hubbard, who has not missed a free throw tonight, will shoot 2.
Well, Taylor kind of gets bailed out of that there. I really thought they should have pulled it out there. It was kind of a 1-on-3.
.29 now for Hubbard. .30 for Taylor's all-time leading score.
He's had a great day.
He's been averaging 23 a contest. So the first points of overtime come from the strike. Whitaker blocked by Hubbard. Out of bounds to Marian.
I have him with 2 blocks today. Get another look at it here.
Whitaker 6 points in today's game. Lane Cable off the curl. Whitaker again goes downhill. Goes to the left hand to use that rim of protection. And Whitaker gets the bucket. He's got 8.
Excellent job of just seeing the opening and driving the lane and that little flash of purple. And he thought, you know what, I'm best suited on the other side. Nice job.
Poked away by Whitaker, but they're going to get Whitaker for the foul. Then again, Whitaker had ball with one hand, but the official will claim he had waist on the other. Kind of that pass interference call you'd see in the National Football League in terms of having a hook around the waist of the player.
Yeah, hand on his back there. Fans here looking at the video don't like the call, but. And that's one of those again. You see it half the time it's called and half the time it's not.
Furman connects on the free throw line. His first points of the game. He averages 10 a game. Frankly, he's not had many looks in today's contest. 72% free throw shooter. And connects here. So Taylor 4 of 4 from the stripe in the extra session.
And this is a team that only shoots about 65% as a team, so they're stepping up their free throw game when they need it.
Harvey, because Webb has 4, could do nothing about it. Stood there and stared at him, and Harvey's got 22.
Absolutely right, Greg. Just attack him, go at him, let him decide. Do you want to continue to play in the game? Because if you do, you got to step back and let me score.
Hubbard on the drive. Goman trying to hold his space as best he can. Hubbard missed it, and then Goman tips it away to Foe.
What a huge, huge hustle play by Goman there.
By the way, St. Francis and Bethel, they'll need 5 more minutes. 94 apiece in that contest. Lane Cable downhill, left hand. Hang Lane Cable, and Marian in front for the first time in the extra session.
Just like that old Scotty McCreery song, all right? Just give me 5 more minutes.
So timeout taken by Taylor. They'll keep it right here. Taylor has 1 more timeout they can use in the extra session. Marian has 3 remaining.
You look on the replay there, nice job again by the senior recognizing the opportunity, taking advantage of it, finishing with the left hand. Again, if you're a coach, that's what you want here. You want your seniors to step up. It is senior night, obviously. But you also want those kids in this situation to want the basketball.
.25 on the shot clock. Taylor yet to make a field goal in overtime. All 4 of their points have come from the charity stripe. They can stop it 1 more time. You got to think the ball's going to come through Hubbard the next time down the floor for Taylor.
No doubt about it. And again, if Hubbard doesn't get it, they can look for Webb. They got other kids that can score, obviously, but those are the 2 kids I would want to have the basketball.
Already Tayshawn Cherry has fouled out for Marian, Hubbard, and Webb play with 4 for Taylor. Marian has another player that has more than 3 at this point. I think a win today, if Marian can hang on, would end any discussion in terms of are they in the tournament or not, in terms of the national tournament. Now you're just hoping you can win and then get a little help to get a home game here on Wednesday. But a lot of ground to cover. It's Webb. Again, he's in the matchup on Foe. Turns, jump hook, got it. Webb was 17.
And as you said, the first real field goal in this overtime period for Taylor.
They all count the same.
Yep.
Lane Cable around Yoon, off the window. Doesn't go, but he's fouled. Now who committed the foul?
Looks
Yoon.
Okay.
Because that was kind of a 3-car pileup on the way in.
Yeah, absolutely. So
and Frank, that's the proper call.
It is, absolutely. And you know, if fans wanted Hubbard to get it, Hubbard never touched him. Hubbard went straight up.
Yep. And watching the replay, that's the proper attribution. Whitaker asking for a little perspiration to clean up off the floor. Probably not worried about freezing his own shoe at the line by doing that. As Lane Cable, a 76% shooter and 5th-year senior, will be asked to knock down 2. And misses. This has been a game with very few missed free throws in either direction. Lane Cable misses them both. Empty trip for Marian.
And the first one looked like to me that he rushed it a little bit. The second one, he took his time, he lined it up, just didn't go.
And it's been Webb that has been their primary offensive source down the stretch. Up and over, Foe got it again. Webb with 19.
Hard to defend. You're going to have to get some double team help. Bring somebody over.
Shot clock at 13. Harvey. Off the window, no. Whitaker was fouled, yep. And if that's on Webb, that's 5. Webb got him on the putback attempt. Now Furman got an inadvertent hand in the face in kind of the wash. But Webb, again, was kind of taken over for Hubbard down the stretch.
Yeah.
Just fouled out.
But just classic displacement there. You know, again, you can go over the back as long as you don't make contact, as long as you don't displace. You're going to see him actually move the player right there. And again, Coach Andrews now knows exactly who he's going to put in the game, but he's going to use every bit of this time to put somebody in.
So Jeff Clayton will come back in. Whitaker connects. 82% free throw shooter. He's got 9. Looking to become the 4th night in double figures today. Tied again. There has been no lead larger than 2 in the extra session. Lewis had Clayton for a moment, didn't see him.
Yeah, rolled off that double screen there.
And Hubbard, now the primary weapon. Got Goman in the air and dunks it. Once Goman lifted up for a second, he had him.
Yeah, no help either. You know, no help side defense there. But when you get beat baseline, big trouble.
Marian will take a timeout. 12-second difference, shot clock and game clock. 38 seconds left to go in overtime number 1. "30-second timeout taken by Marian. Everything they have done has been to get downhill. And you would think that will not change in this scenario. There's the update on the Bethel St. Francis game. Bethel leads by 2 in double overtime. And 1:31 left to go in the second extra session. And now St. Francis with a made 3 to go right back in front. By the way, folks, these are like teams 4, 5, 6, and 7. We're seeing go back and forth at it in the league. So just how good this league is on an every game basis.
Well, that makes sense. I mean, you got teams that are obviously very close in the standings, and it's for a reason.
Harvey, step through, runner got it. But Taylor now can hold for a final look if they so choose. Harvey's got 24. Hubbard. And Taylor does have one timeout if they need it. At 9 seconds. Lewis. Hubbard at 4. Yoon for the win. No. Double overtime. More free basketball. So the two games that impact each other both go to double OT. We'll take this quick timeout. Back with more in a moment on the ISC Sports Network.
The minute I stepped foot on campus, I didn't want to leave.
Everyone here is about helping you succeed.
It's hard work, but it's totally worth it. I have so much support from my advisors.
The nursing program is why I chose Marian.
I'm studying to be a teacher.
I'm a business major.
My professors really challenge me, and I know I'll be ready for my career.
A great education is the best thing you could ever do for yourself.
Marian University, an exceptional education and an unforgettable experience. Apply today for full scholarship consideration at marian.edu.
Still waiting? You could have been seen by an orthopedic specialist at Ortho Indy Urgent Care. Avoid the wait, cost, and drama of the ER. Ortho Indy Urgent Care. Orthopedic care without the drama. Find a location near you.
So tied at 77. More free basketball today on the ISC Sports Network. This could easily be a war of attrition as to who is left at the end. Webb has already fouled out for Taylor. Cherry has already fouled out for Marian. And now Hubbard sitting on 4 going to a second overtime.
That's where you need Christian Harvey to just take over. Christian and Lane Cable, you need those two kids. Christian can drive it. If he gets stopped, kick it. Set a screen for Lane Cable, let him shoot a 3.
Fans have really got their money's worth today. No issues with over and back on the tip this time. So again, both teams get a timeout at it. Whitaker spins, got Furman in the air, and Furman with a low-grade misdemeanor on the contact. I say that for my partner who spent 3 decades in law enforcement. 2 free throws coming up.
Yeah, you know, again, just a really nice job, though, of getting him in the air and then creating the contact. And if you can get it up there and get it through. But he decided, obviously, hey, you know, I'm going to get called for the foul in terms of Furman, so I'm going to finish this and make sure there's no way you're getting next to the rim.
Whitaker with 11. Whitaker a perfect 6 of 6 from the line. Tayshaun Cherry in full-on spectator mode and has been for a while.
Well, credit the night defense. It's not from a lack of trying on Taylor's part.
Hubbard changed his mind in midair because Goman affected his shot. Now Hubbard will go to work. Hubbard to tie it. Got it. 34 for Hubbard. And over 2,400 career points in the first half. Bethel with a 2-point lead with 16 seconds to go in double overtime there. Whitaker for three and the lead. Yes, sir. The all-time leading scorer as the Greencastle Tiger Cubs has put Marian in front by a triple.
My apologies to Brody Whitaker. He obviously shows, you know what, we got more offensive options. Nice shot.
Hubbard slips it to Clayton. Lewis looking to tie. No. Long rebound, and Marian didn't exactly fly out of that ball, and Lewis gets the putback. It's a 1-point game. Goman for three. No. And Lewis again the long rebound. Furman looking for the lead. Missed that one wide left, and Lane Cable will watch that one trickle out of bounds. Marian thought there might have been a foul as Whitaker was kind of tossed aside in the setting of the screen or trying to secure the rebound. He will come out as Luchetti will come in.
Lucas hit some big, big shots, and how fitting would it be to him to come in and hit a couple more?
Clayton leaned into that screen just a bit at the end. I'm okay with a no call there.
Well, so am I. And again, I say this all the time. People go, hey, look at this, man. What do you think? I'm like, that gets called sometimes, and sometimes it doesn't. It didn't get called that time.
Now tied again between St. Francis and Bethel. Lane Cable powers his way up off the window, missed it. Great crash by Foe. Foe, shot blocked, and Clayton's got it. Two good looks for Marian that wouldn't go. A chance for Taylor to seesaw back in front. Shot clock at 9. Hubbard, the step back, rattles it home. 36 for Hubbard. 1-point lead for Taylor. Lane Cable got Clayton in the air. Now he'll shoot over him. Not that time. And Lewis the rebound. So a couple empty trips in succession now for Marian.
Good hustle by the 6-foot Lewis.
And as a heads up, we will end our broadcast pretty quickly, given the duration it has gone here in double overtime after today's game. Looking at Hubbard. Goman tried to sell the contact, didn't get it. And now they're going to get the flop technical against Goman.
And I don't know if it was the flop so much as he may have reacted on the end, on the floor.
That's the he called the flop.
Oh, did he? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know that I like that call so much as it.
And now Scott Heddy giving Jordan Beam the business on that call. So Hubbard will get one shot.
Well, I don't like the flop call there because I think that was really good contact.
So Hubbard, the free throw, missed it. His first missed free throw of the day. Well, I said one free throw. And that is correct. And now the ball should go back to Marian here, correct?
Yeah, I mean, I guess.
Yes. That flop warning is given a lot.
Right.
The flop technical is not. So at the end of the day, it didn't really affect anything because of the missed free throw and no possession.
Yeah. But again, I thought there was enough contact. People flop all the time, I admit that. But that honestly looked like more than enough contact.
Lane Cable turns down the 3. He'll take the 2. He'll make the 2. The chicken dinner tastes so good at the Copper Kettle. Lane Cable puts Marian back in front by a point. And now Taylor will ask for time. So Lane Cable with a dozen. And St. Francis has beaten Bethel. So now Marian is playing for the home game on Wednesday. So 102-101. That epic ends in double overtime. Now can Marian hang on and get the win here in double overtime?
Well, Coach Hetty is still upset about that call and had a lot to say to the official there. One of his assistants finally had to come up and run some interference and say, hey, look at me for a second. And finally, by the time Coach Hetty sat down, the official said, all right, look, you can go back too. And he turned around and quickly went back to the huddle.
Yeah, Justin McClung was trying to play the role of peacemaker for Marian.
You know, if you're going to tee somebody up or throw somebody out, make it me. But again, really nice job. Honestly, good job of the official too. Just diffuse the whole situation. Don't escalate it.
One more, let's thank our ISC Sports Network crew. Great job today by Kevin Ratterman, Eric Kinnett, Eldon Wheeler, Rob Lynch, Dennis Glover, and Jordan Shute. And a good chunk of our crew are going on to do another event tonight. Your play-by-play guy is too.
Well, you know, you may
I
need
may have to ask the state wrestling finals to wait for me at this juncture.
You may need. I wish I still had my police car. I'd give you a little police escort down there, a little red lights and siren, but I don't think the old red Dodge pickup truck will merit the same respect.
Hubbard from 16, missed everything. Not touched by Goman. Again, I think Hubbard thought contact was coming, and Goman just kind of laid back.
And nice job, though. He altered the shot. Nice job.
And now a timeout taken by Marian with 53 seconds left to go. So Marian will have 2 timeouts remaining. Taylor will have 1. This would obviously be a massive confidence boost for Marian. It would also be a boon to Wednesday's chances.
Yes.
By hosting Bethel and not traveling there. The other thing I point out too is that, you know, Marian, I'm not sure they're going to take tomorrow off, and practice is going to be light on Monday because you have emptied the tank trying to win this one.
Without question. And again, you got to be smart. You know, at this level, I mean, it's this level of the season. I mean, I don't know that you necessarily need to practice them hard. Maybe do a little walkthrough, a little shoot around, so they can stay sharp with their shots. But man, I wouldn't, like you said, I wouldn't exert a ton of effort. Watch a lot of film. Let's just get better mentally and just make practice that, because like you said, they have absolutely left everything out there on the floor today.
With 53 seconds left to go, who do you want to see have the ball in their hands last here for Marian?
Christian Harvey's the guy I want it. I want him to drive. I want him to try to create something off the glass. If he gets a defender or gets double teamed, I want somebody to be setting a screen for Lane Cable. Know where Lane Cable is. Christian, you're going to do this, all right? And Hayden, you're going to be over here. Christian, he's going to be there if you need him. And if you can't get a drive, then you kick it to Lane Cable, let him shoot it.
Tayshaun Cherry's been out since the 3-minute mark of regulation. Anton Webb fouled out in overtime for Taylor. Hubbard plays with 4. Taylor trying to get their record to 500 for the year. Marian trying to pick up win 20. It's Whitaker. Backs down Ullum. Draws a double. Harvey turns down the 3. Shot clock at 13. Lane Cable wants the ball screen and gets it. Harvey finds a sliver of space. Good closeout by Clayton. 2 Marian players run into each other, but then Goman gets the rebound. And let's hope that, I'm not able to tell which, I think it's Whitaker is the player that is down. And
I believe
again, he and Foe just simultaneously went for the ball. Amazingly, Marian had 3 players right there, and Goman ends up being the guy that comes up with it.
You're going to see it on the replay there, yeah. Just kind of crash into each other, and luckily the ball drops right into Marian's hands.
So Whitaker will need a moment. There might be more than one guy that needs an IV at the end of this.
Yeah, I didn't see any head contact, you know, where maybe they, you know, no concussion worries there.
So they will pull Whitaker from the game. And I would think that would mean that Lou Ketty will be coming back in, and that's exactly what's going to happen.
Not a bad choice.
Yep. This works like a de facto timeout for both teams. And Goman, who is an 82% free throw shooter, will shoot 2. Now, the officials, we do have a replay monitor across the way, are checking this out. Again, it's friendly fire, to use the term. It's 2 Marian guys with each other.
There's not a purple shirt anywhere near this collision.
Right.
There's 3 silver shirts there.
That's 2 Marian players.
Yeah.
Also maybe making sure, in terms of making sure the timing is accurate.
Yeah, and make sure you got the right shooter, all that stuff.
So Goman will shoot 2. 5th-year senior from Floyd Central. Mom and dad, both athletes at the University of Indianapolis. They were on the floor with Luke today, as was his brother Grant, who was a freshman basketball player at DePaul University. And Goman left that one short. Knew that as soon as he left his hands.
Yeah, just a little short. And again, you talked earlier, Greg, about the legs, about, now that the kids just need to focus. Really, you're going to have to bend the knees and work up through the shot.
He's dealing with a bit of a back issue, too. He missed them both. So now Taylor can win it. Again, they've got a timeout if they need it. Lewis. Ullum throws it for Hubbard. Lane Cable hasn't got the timeout. Timeout called by Marian with 11 seconds left to go.
Well, Hayden Langcable and I were calling it at the exact same time. You'll see him go to the floor here, and I try to be, I try not to talk, but I'm going timeout, and he's thinking the same way I am.
That was a battle of wills, and to be honest, a lot of the loose ball, long rebounds have kind of gone to Taylor today.
Yeah.
But that's one of the rare times that loose ball scrap went the way of the Marian Knights.
Yeah, and sometimes again when, I'm not saying that necessarily Taylor was a decided underdog by any stretch, but, when you win games that maybe you aren't supposed to win, it's because you get all those long rebounds. You get all those loose balls. And again, they've been getting a bunch of them, and thankfully for the Marian Knights, the home team was able to come with one.
So Marian will inbound the ball at three-quarter court. Both teams, you see on your screen, have 1 timeout remaining. And if you are Taylor, I'm not sure you have the time to play for a trap.
No, not at all.
You foul the first guy that catches it.
I think so too, and you go down there and you hope he misses.
Knowing that Langcable has missed 2.
Right.
Goman has missed 2.
Yep.
Sherry is your best free throw shooter, and he's out of the game.
Yep.
Harvey's missed a couple. Now he's also made 5 of 7 in total. Whitaker is 6 of 6, but I don't think he's on the floor right now. He's not.
Now you just got to take your chances. If you're Taylor, you got to foul the first guy you see. Obviously, you want certain people to touch the ball. You're going to try to keep it out of other people's hands.
Harvey. No foul given just yet. Took 3 seconds for them to foul, and Harvey will get 2. So Harvey, again, 5 of 7, 78% on the season.
Again, you got to use your legs here, Christian. You got to bend your knees, work all the way up through the shot.
Got it. So we are a made free throw away from doing a math equation. They're going to wave it off. Yep. And here's the reason why. Gavin Foe left the free throw lane and was on his way back when the ball went to the shooter and Harvey.
I didn't see that, Greg. I'm not saying it didn't happen.
I saw. Watch.
Okay,
here's the replay. Yeah, that's absolutely right.
Yep.
So wave off the made free throw. He'll get 1. Great, wonderful job by our crew to show you. I kind of caught a corner of my eye too. I'm like, I don't think that looks right, and it didn't.
Yep.
Harvey makes this 2-point game. And a timeout will be taken by Marian. Well, again, if both had stood, now we have the conversation about fouling. Obviously in a 2-point game, we're no longer having that conversation. Right. It is simply about getting a stop. So now the conversation becomes, if you're Taylor, are you going for 3 in the win? You going for 2 and extending this game on another 5 minutes?
I'm going to take the best shot I can get. I mean, if it's a 2, it's a 2. We go, we play triple overtime, as it were. Obviously, you're going to try to set up a 3. But if Marian knows that too. They're going to be defending the 3-point line very heavily. So if you get a 2, you get a 2.
3-point shooting, frankly, has not been a staple for either team today. Yoon has made a couple. And really, that's it.
That is it, really, for them. And, they don't shoot it particularly well as a team. They only shoot 30% from behind the arc, which is pretty average. Probably below average, frankly. I think if I'm Coach Hetty, though, I'm going to defend the ball and try to use some time here and force him to come down and rush a shot. Don't give him that opportunity. You see a lot of teams roll the ball, and then, the player picks it up right before it crosses the 10-second line.
And Marian is out of timeouts. Taylor can take 1. Although at this point, if you get the ball to half court and call timeout, you've got only 3 or 4 seconds left.
Yeah.
You're going to have Hubbard inbound to try to get the ball back in his hands, I would think.
Yep. But I like the fact that Marian's going to defend it a little bit and force them to use some time.
Inbounds to Lewis, and now he'll call the timeout. So that took 2.5 seconds off the clock. So they erase in the front court. And you got to think it's going to be Hubbard. The question is, where does he get the ball?
He is about a 32.5, 33% shooter from behind the arc, so he's one of your better ones.
Certainly a capable 3-point shooter.
But I also got to believe that Marian's going to be defending the heck out of the arc. The officials are down here on the bucket, basically, or in front of the bucket, and they're discussing all the scenarios that we're discussing. Let's look for this. Let's watch for that. Make sure we don't miss this.
So the inbounds will come directly in front of the scorer's table. Again, if Marian can hang on, they are the number 4 seed, and they will host Bethel, because Bethel was beaten in double overtime by St. Francis just a few minutes ago. Tournament takes place next Wednesday, Saturday, and the championship game the following Tuesday. Ullum, Yoon, Clayton, Hubbard, Lewis, the 5 on the floor for Taylor.
Lewis 33% behind the line, Yoon 36. He's your best 3-point shooter on this squad.
Yoon, one dribble. Yoon, step back for the win. No, that's the ball game. Somehow, some way, Marian finds a way, and they'll get one more home game in this building.
And I think every kid will tell you today's effort was worth it, just to get that home game.
Marian gets their 9th consecutive win against Taylor. 85-83, Jim, your final thoughts.
Just a fantastic basketball game. Congratulations to Coach Hetty and his group. And Coach Andrews, no shame, your kids played hard.
So we will have games here next Tuesday and Wednesday at the PE Center. The women will take on Mount Vernon Nazarene at 7 on Tuesday. The men will take on the Bethel Pilots at 7 on Wednesday. And if the women win, they'll be back here as well next Friday night. Goodbye, and thanks for spending a large chunk of your afternoon with us on the ISC Sports Network.
Meet Kate. She has a lot to juggle. Family, work, it can lead to trying days and tired nights. But we know Kate, and at Indiana Members Credit Union, we know at some point her space at a premium life may change. IMCU is here to help Kate and you find your space. Now, add on or remodel with an introductory rate of 3.9% APR on a home equity line of credit. Today, it's all about Kate. Tomorrow, it's all about you. Because at IMCU, it's you that matters.